grand final. That's right, we've reached the end of the road. Well, not quite anyway, we've got a best of 3 ahead of us to decide who is the champion of the Americas and who will be heading off to Hong Kong in late August to represent both themselves, their team, and of course the region as well. Fresh from defeat and victory, we have Mr. Nothing and Mr. Lurpus. How are you doing?
Good.
Do I need to put a referee in between you, or
no?
Are you
we're good.
Okay,
you know,
right. Okay.
the rules played to his advantage. He had some advantages in the game. A couple of reasons here and there.
All right. Well, we'll get into those in a minute because I want to make a bit of an announcement. Thank you very much for all of you that donated over the weekend and took part in the raffle as well. We do have a winner of the raffle, and I'm pleased to say it's on the screen right now. Mr. Chow Lung Lin is the winner of the raffle, so congratulations. Thank you for your donation. Enjoy
Did he get the whole computer
your
stuff?
prize. Huh?
Did he get the whole computer, like monitor thing?
Yeah,
or?
I think it's the whole battle station.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jelly.
Yeah, you.
I need a new
You
station.
need to work harder, Jordan. Simple as that.
But I worked hard. I won the show match. Do I?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes,
You deserve a
and
cookie,
your
Tommy.
prize is that you get to gloat over Jordan for the next X number of months until you play another show match.
It's not bad.
I think that's a pretty decent
I'm
prize.
undefeated against Jordan, so
Are you? Is it 1-0 or more than 1-0?
it's like 4-0.
4-0 now.
Yeah.
Is that an HLTV stat or?
So just a long history.
Just a long history
Beer
of being
pong,
better,
New
just
York.
of being better at the game.
Cook-off.
And beer pong is in there as well.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, if we
Fantastic.
include that, then it's a lot more than
Is
4.
it? I wouldn't doubt that at all. His aim, beer pong, terrible. Let's talk about the grand final. We're here. You said it was going to be Brazil, Tommy. You were half right, but I have to say that semi-final earlier, they looked pretty good in that game.
Yeah, Ghost-
Did they start this as favourites?
Ghosts look good. I do wonder whether they were helped a little bit by the fact that they didn't have to play yesterday, which allowed them to fully practice for one extra day. You know,
Right.
be prepared for today and be fully fresh. They weren't part of the marathon games.
Indeed.
Yesterday, that took quite a while longer than potentially any 2-0 in the history of the game. They looked very good. So we'll just have to see if they can keep that up. Now, on the other hand, for this game, now Furia is the one that's more rested, had more time off to prepare since they only played yesterday, and he really had all this morning off. I mean, obviously they were watching us play, but outside of that, they could prepare.
Yeah, I'm not sure they'll have learnt all that much from watching you guys play.
Well,
But
I mean, you learn to
You see those
not,
B-hops, guys?
you learn to not send Blue b-hopping first, because like
Yes.
he
there was
can't
fifth round
handle
hopping
the
in there
rail.
was absolutely brilliant. I saw it. It was good. I'll tell you what we should do though. We should introduce you. If you're just joining us, I know that we have got a lot of new viewers here and a lot of new people, fresh faces to the Zotac Cup Masters. We should introduce you properly to both teams, and who better to do that than the teams themselves?
So people don't know Furia. We are from Brazil. We are a new team. We have pretty good results. We beat teams that are very strong. Oh yeah, playing here Zotac I don't think it's gonna be any different for us than playing in Brazil. People, they think we are underdogs because they don't know us. But people from Brazil know us and they think we can, like us, win this. Coming here for Zotac and playing against these guys, for us that's a chance to show the world who we are. With our game style of playing, the way of thinking about the game, I think that's very unique for us and we're gonna surprise a lot of people.
Yes, indeed. They have surprised people already, I think, by getting to the grand final. They were very confident themselves. However, there were some doubters around as to whether they could fulfill that destiny. They go head-to-head with Ghost Gaming, and Ghost Gaming put up a fantastic fight this morning in their semi-final. They're also in the grand final. Here's their thoughts.
My team and I just formed about a month ago. We've got a good mix of players here that we're able to do like really cool things. We could do passive things, we could do aggressive things. We're learning new things constantly. We're always striving to improve, and I think that's the best thing about my teammates, that we're always like willing to put the time in to actually improve and get better. I think a realistic finishing position is to get first place here. The teams that are here, we've beaten before. We've been playing against them for loads of time. The only thing that would stop us winning this event would be, I guess, ourselves.
Be themselves is what they said. Well, there's one other problem they've got, which is team.
I guess ourselves.
The first map is just around the corner, so head back to our commentary team. They've been with us all weekend, they've been fantastic. It's Blue and Dust.
Thank you very much once again, Red Eye, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand finals now of the Zotac Cup Masters North American Regionals. It's come down to this: Ghost Gaming going up against Furia. One more best of three, and the winner will be moving on into the Hong Kong Grand Finals in about 2 months. The loser sadly will not be getting that ticket, but they will still probably pick up a share of the prize pool.
Yeah, indeed. Again, the winner of this, of course, will be joining Team Liquid representing the Americas, and maybe one more Americas team that might get invited. Of course, we've already seen some other teams go through. Teams like King1 and Virtus Pro, teams like MVPPK, Tyloo, and then we, of course, had Vicha Gaming, Flash out there as well. So a lot of teams already decided, but this is going to decide our next one, as we're going to see them knifing out for sides. And again, Ghost come into this looking really sharp in that semifinal here today against Sharks. However, Furia, we've seen them evolve over this tournament. Had a really low in their opening game against Complexity on Inferno, where they crashed around, but then quickly recovered and made a run to these finals with some of their players looking quite fantastic.
Looks like my Ghosts are going to be able to take control of the knife round, so they'll get their side choice to start. More than likely, we'll stick on CT. There's that small window where we sometimes see teams choosing to prefer to start on T side on this map. However, I don't think Ghost is one of those teams, and I'm right to assume that. As we do indeed see Ghost sticking with the defensive side of things, as now we're going live. So Furia will have to jump onto the offensive side to start off this series. Let's see if they'll be able to piece things together, or if Ghost will still hold a stronger position on the CT side. It's Cash for our first map, ladies and gentlemen, and we are starting it right now.
Indeed, we are curious to see how this map is going to play out. Haven't really seen, of course, this Ghost lineup play Cash a whole hell of a lot. Just the one win against Rogue on their way to qualifying for DreamHack Masters Stockholm, and that's really the only time that they've touched the map as a unit. And for Furia, I would say within the Brazilian scene, it's one of their better maps. Inferno and Mirage probably more at the top, but Cash is definitely a map they play quite a bit, and we've seen them be successful on it coming into this. So you would think that they might have a slight edge just based on experience playing together on this map. But then again, just the way Ghost Gaming was playing, some of their players were really on form. And while I can expect guys like Queserado and Art and even Yuri to deliver here, I think they kind of hinted it's on the desk, and something that I think we're going to have to look at is how does Spaka stack up against Wardell, because I feel like Spaka has not necessarily had the best performances with the AWP throughout this tournament.
All right, guys, well, here we're going to go directly into the final now. Starting things off on the pistol round, Furia are looking like they're going to split their players up a little bit. However, still we'll see the most of them regroup inside of the B halls after slaying him out at the light. Art, of course, has this D goal, trying to find some impact with it. Had himself in the lineup, but no shots taken.
And they do have a smoke to block off the vision of this 1B player, which is Wardell, who is just playing retake positioning right now. They've actually pushed through A main, though, on the Ghost Gaming side, so they're going to get some quick information. Might be able to get some extra players rotated to assist Wardell on this B-bomb site, as well as maybe a flank coming in as here does the execute underway.
Rosa starting it off well first as he picks up the initial kill of the match. For one more as well, but actually no, it'll be Kusta that gets traded out a moment later. Sabrosa trying to get aggressive to even out the odds, but he's got to be careful as he could lose himself in the process here. Furia now getting themselves onto the site will find a plant. This becomes a very difficult retake for Ghost just by the nature of the site that it's gone to. But still, they can pull it off with 4 players still standing. It's an even fight. And they'll work their way back into the site now, trying to wrap back around. It's a strong hold for the Furia roster, though. Sabrosa the only one to pick up a trade. Wardell now alone in a 1v2. Would be a 1v3 clutch. Be pulled it off very close, but no cigar as we see Casarado picking up the final kill instead, along with his 3rd kill in the round to give Furia the opening round.
Yeah, and again, that 2 of the key players already stepping up for Furia. Casarado and Art, 2 out of 3 of their best players, probably full house of frags between the 2 of them in that round. It's a close one, though. Ghost had some pretty cool set smokes from inside heaven to retake with. Wardell almost pulled off the clutch there. Just needed 1 more frag. Sub-Rosa some good work also, but again, it is Furia who pull it off there. Well done. And they're going to take that bomb back over to B right away, it seems like, or at least most of their numbers are in that direction. Ghost Gaming going for a bit of a stack on highway just so that they can quickly rotate either direction based on sound cues, and when that bomb gets planted, they have 1 player inside the A bomb site kind of spotting. Or actually, it's just a pop flash setup. Really, they're looking to try to fight out in the middle.
Nades are ready to go, however, on the Ghost side. As you said, they've got the pop flash on Steel, ready to try and throw pressure at mid. The problem is there's not a whole lot there. They're going to be able to overwhelm at most 1 player here. He's the only one that's actually gone out for control. And he's taking it nice and slow. The flash against him now allows for a quick 1-to-1 trade, but at the same time, Furia are also going to be executing on B, giving them free access to the site and the plant to top it all off. So Kusta, don't imagine he'll be... actually, it does look like they're going to try to jump back in, see if they can find some impacts here. But yeah, Vinny immediately putting both of the vent players down into the ground. There's only Steel and Wardell, so this will be an easy 2nd round for Fury after those kills happen.
Yeah, you can see Ghost Gaming just kind of banking on that pop flash up at middle. Didn't wind up getting a frag out of it, but then B still got overwhelmed. They couldn't really rotate through vents well. Almost a team ace here as far as the 3 frags that went out. Art, Vinny, Yuri all involved in that. They also are going to survive with pretty much all their guns. They lost 1 player on the round, so it's a nice, comfortable victory. Help start building up their money right away. So they do it up 2-0. Ghost Gaming likely to take a save this next round, but at least have a Deagle and Pizza to carry over with it. But it's not going to be a whole hell of a lot, so you certainly should be expecting Fury to get that 3-0 start.
Steel and Wardell, the only ones to make it out of it, and they are once again more than likely going to have a light buys for this round. The rest of the team, that is, Steel and Wardell will keep the pistols that they carried through from the previous one, but should not see any further investment. So Furia will have themselves another relatively straightforward walkover round here, unless the Deagle, a few of these light pistols are able to find major impact. It's going to be spread out early on from Furia, but still decidedly push inside of A main. As they've gone for control there early on. Art's also going to be playing around with the B tunnels, gets himself a spot on Sabrosa just before the smoke plumes knocks him out and brings us into a 5v4. So already a good start. In a moment, Fury are going to be walking out. They've killed the only A defender, so that'll be an open bomb site for these guys to get an easy plant. The last 3. Sadly, there's not a whole lot to do here. They'll just have to sit back, hope they can get at least 1 or 2 kills in the exit sequence, and then look forward to the next round where finally they'll be able to buy.
Yeah, again, there's been no shenanigans in these rounds. Fury have taken these anti-ecos very cleanly. Though, as I say, that Art does get caught out here in middle, so 1 gun may, in fact, get carried over for 3 from Ghost. But Yuri is staring down highway, trying to prevent that from happening. And it's actually only a MAC-10 that gets picked up. The rifles that Furia had are actually bunched up here at A, so it's not that great of a gain from Ghost. Unless Kusa can somehow get some exit kills with that MAC-10 and farm some cash, but...
Great push from Steel, trying to find at least 1 pickup. He does see the Deagle onto the ground, but I think he's lost his chance now. It's going to be Kusta instead that tries to dive in from upper for a surprise, but won't work out. Steel finally makes 1 impact happen with that Deagle, but that's about it. Besides that, it's a relatively clean round from Furia, and they'll stack up a decent chunk of extra change for the first gun round.
And we'll see what is Wardell going to do with this AWP. I haven't gotten to see him play too much with it on this team, and there's a lot of difference on what operas like to do in this match. Some operas like to be B anchors with AWPs, some like to float around. This round they're actually going to have 2, and so Wardell will take his over towards the middle, and Steel will be getting over here, but didn't get a quick spawn, and they're actually pushing him. He's trying to get away, and he does survive. It takes a lot of damage, and the Vit rotation gets caught, but these exchanges are actually equal.
Brought it down to a 3v3. Problem is they don't account Wardell as a threat too quickly. He even manages to clip some damage off onto Art as well, bringing him down to 28, and they know they hit it. So they're going to try to push him, and it works. Steel getting the last kill. All that's left is KS Serrato coming in on this massive flank right now. Try and catch these guys off, but no, Wardell will spot it. Picks up his 2nd kill on the round there, and secures Ghost their 1st overall.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give a lot of credit to Steel for surviving that. I mean, the timing was really against him there. Usually you run up heaven and you're able to jump down and get peeks on the B, but he didn't get there in time and decides to throw a flash, and then it's just a 4-man push. He somehow survives and winds up with 2 kills on the round. So, great work. They keep the double op intact. They don't lose too much on that round. Furia, though, still, of course, able to get the full buy-in here. See Wardell once again taking his AWP at middle, and he's being very proactive with this. Jumping up top, looking for someone maybe on the boost. But right now, Furia continues to kind of sit back in mostly default positions.
Furia still not able to take any map control here after quite some delay. 30 or 40 seconds going by, and they're just now going to start to push themselves into the B halls to prop up there. Steel firing out a few shots against these guys, but no vision really being given to him just yet. The smoke blocking off most of it. But a chance is given, though. He's not ready for it. So once again, misses, and that'll force him back even further. Oh, he's got to be careful about peeking any further. Spock is there ready, but Steel gets the better of him. That's the bomb drop, too, so that's at least some intel to play off, especially if he can keep vision here. He's going to have Sabrosa coming in to assist, and they'll start to smoke off the hallway to prevent a quick push. Steel actually hits another shot as well, connects onto a leg for Yuri. That's going to bring him low. Now comes the push as Furia know they need to start trading this back a little bit. As they move in, Sabrosa does go down. Steel caught out in the open here as well, so he's also going to fall. Now rotates are needed relatively quickly from Ghost as they're going to need to save this, but it's not going well. KS Serrato picks up another kill on flank. Only 2 are left standing here for the CT side all of a sudden.
Yeah, and the A bomb site's wide open. They realize that for Furia. The bomb's actually already making its transition through main. There's still a couple players out at B as well to keep Ghost busy. Yeah, that was just one of the situations where that checker setup just did not work out. It was Sabrosa and Steel working together, even though Steel got the opening pick. He was just trying to throw some spam through a smoke, never connected. Sabrosa got caught out, and that meant Steel was going to get overwhelmed. So good trading by Furia over on the B side. KS Serrato, normal B lurker for the team, coming with a pretty big kill in that. Art, one of the entries, also involved. So, again, you're seeing the players you would like to see step up for Furia definitely deliver. And this reset hurts.
Yeah, it's going to hurt quite a bit. Just looking at the money that they have left over there on Ghost, it's not pretty by any sense. It's from square one here. So even with the 2 saved guns, I don't really believe that Ghosts are going to be able to justify a full reinvestment. We'll see how the money pans out, though. Yeah, there's just not enough sitting there for these guys to be able to go for any type of real full buy. They still might force since they got reset anyway, and they're going to have to double save more than likely. So yeah, we'll get a buy, and it's just not going to be that great. Kusta will probably have a similar buy to Sabrosa, and Steel's only going to end up on a CZ.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's not too bad. I mean, there's a couple of SMGs here. The M4 and Pollo, and he's actually was playing really well in the last series. And then, of course, Wardell at the AWP has been such a threat all day. We do see Furia working their way over the boost, extinguishing the fire and working their way out. Just taking some of that basic mid control here with Spock's AWP. Art going to clear out the sandbags. No one is actually there, but at the very least they're taking care to ensure that they don't get snuck up on by anyone.
Art's had himself move forward here a little bit here, so Furia will start to take that forward momentum now. They got a little bit of mid control to get up to the vents, and they can once again just try to dive bomb out of the B site by using the vents. And once more, Ghosts do have a setup here. It's not as aggressive as it was in the previous round, though. Steel has himself back box position inside of checkers. Only 1 more player sits on the site. There's a close rotate from Pollo if they need it, which they probably will.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're able to get that quick rotation, as you said. They do have a few players in the area, but Sabrosa just gets caught out in open space. It's all on the Steel now, hiding in checkered, but even he's not able to pull the wool over their eyes. And that's an easy round now for Furia. And it's just going to be Wardell and company saving guns once again.
Ghost completely pressed out of that situation. And for Wardell and Kusa, there's just no hope left for them. Furia running over the site for another round here. It's going to put them up to 5. A solid lead they've established for themselves. And if they can get it past another gun round, it's going to put Ghost in really bad territory.
That's a couple of times now where I feel like Sub Rose is just caught out in awkward space. You know, and even on a situation where either team has an advantage or it's a 5-on-5, somehow he still winds up just getting caught up in something. And I'm not sure if it's because he was trying to set up a utility or something like that, but again, it's kind of just giving Furia easy entries into that B-bomb site. It's been a problem a couple of times now.
Wardell might get himself a little bit of pressure coming in this direction here. There's going to be a jump peek kind of from Chaos Serrano, but I'm pretty sure Wardell can just sit back here in the corner. Pretty much no risk to him now because of that, so we'll still carry the op through into the next round. But that'll basically be it. Kusta having an MP7. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit, but unless he can get himself into a close angle push against like 3 or 4 different players, he's not going to find much impact besides 1 or 2 kills. As soon as he finds one, they'll obviously immediately adjust their play style, and the other 3 will basically be non-existent in terms of their investment.
Yeah, again, this is a round where you should be expecting Furia just to really just lay into Ghost. But Ghost is actually trying to do something a little bit aggressive towards middle here. Again, trying to come up with some type of play that could net them a good result despite the odds being against them. And Wardell anchoring that B-bomb site. Again, the rest is floating around middle and over towards A, actually. All right, now Furia, again, just kind of playing their default. They do pull off of B pretty early, though, and kind of put a little more emphasis on mid-garage and getting into A main. But they've definitely been quite cautious and careful. They've been playing very disciplined, kind of just map control CS, which yesterday I feel like we saw them play a little bit looser and a little bit more kind of aggressive. And I feel like here they've been kind of taking care to cover the basics.
Kusta finding a first strike here. Art can be put into a bit of an awkward position too, but he's able to manage it. Still takes out Sabrosa relatively free. And oh, it's actually Wardell gets himself out though to fund trade. Problem is every time they find a trade, oh, it comes right back at them, but steals kill. Okay, that's equalized it a little bit more. Now there's a real fight going on here, especially since both players have been armed with real guns. Steel sadly won't have armor, but remember, aim punch got reduced recently, so it's not as drastic as it used to be.
Also, there's no kit. There's not much utility involved in this retake either, so that's going to make things difficult. But certainly you could also point out that Fury don't really have any nades either to hold off the retake. So it's all going to come down to straight up aim duels. And one Terrace just pinned in the corner at Forklift and still takes him out. It's all in a 1v1 now.
Wardell going to look to trade it as Vinny gets himself up on top, but Wardell's ready for the shot, knocks him out. And with that, Ghost will be able to get themselves a second round.
That's a big round as well, considering what they had to work with. Just the AWP and the MP7 on Kusta. Kusta only good for 1 kill. It's really Steel getting the pistol frag, picking up an AK, finding a second kill. And then, like we said, Wardell winning the 1v1 clutch and also 2 kills on the round. And he's continued to be impressive throughout this tournament. And that's a big one to win if you're Ghost. That's not one you probably weren't expecting to get. Double op setup is right back into effect, by the way. So I imagine we'll continue to see Steel, especially with the spawn he has now, to be able to just run B and look for picks into the lobby while Wardell continues to patrol middle and just kind of float around. I feel like we're going to see Fury go for something fast towards B this time, though. Looking at the way
they're already stacked up for it. They're trying to molly out checkers already. We'll see if they try to sit in the halls for a little bit, though. Sometimes teams will still posture up for a good, like, 30 seconds or so. But with everyone here this early, it'd be a little bit bold to do that, considering that they would leave A main open to potential, like, flanks and things like of that nature.
Especially since Ghost has been taking A main control time and time again throughout this game. They've been really good about doing that to kind of make sure that their B players can hold position and their mid guy can kind of even start cheating towards B. Fury looking to go for some type of mid boost here, so mid B split's looking pretty likely. And Ghost is just holding their ground right now. They have no reason to really move. I think there is a player in vents as well for Ghost. But he's been fired out.
Rest of Fury are going to start wrapping back around, however, and start to execute. Trying to dive bomb inside of checkers once again, but it's failed miserably so far. 2 quick kills being found from Ghost. Now a third. Polio was lost, so Steel is alone inside here now. It's not too much longer before he's traded at the hands of Spaka, but the cavalry has arrived, and Sabrosa is going to be able to pick up the final 2 kills, securing the round for Ghost yet again.
Yeah, again, when Sabrosa spots that player crossing in towards vents after they molly Polio out of vents, I think they had a pretty good idea it was going to be a mid-B split. They were able to cover the vents push and then steal with a couple of nice frags with the AWP into that B lobby area. Puts that execute to a screeching halt, and it also puts Fury's economy in a really rough spot. Only Vinny really has cash to spend in this next round, as Yuri had some as well. He's already bought a Deagle and had armor. So maybe a nice little halfway approach here from Furia to pose a small threat, but in all likelihood, it's one of those rounds that are set up nicely for Ghost to start chipping away at Furia's lead.
So with the pause now, lead of Furia are going to try their best to still put something together on this round, but sadly it is going to look a little bit like a walkaway round. They're only able to get themselves one player fully equipped. It's Yuri that gets himself the Deagle armor buy, and obviously Vinny saving. So besides that, Sponka, Art, and KS Dorado basically on just default kits here. Maybe like one smoke on Art was really the only additional investment that we had seen from this T side. They are going to go relatively quickly into mid, however, to be able to take control here. So it's Vinny leading the charge. A nice nade goes over the top of the boost, by the way. Look at that. Sponka, Art, and Yuri all having their HP decked down because of that one HE grenade. So very nicely done. However, Vinny with a great peek does find the first kill by knocking out Pollo.
Yeah, that is a nice little entry there. Gets them an edge, and they have mid control also with still a lot of time left on the clock. So there's a lot going for Furia right now. 2 to each site right now for Ghost, and they've already had one player fall over towards Checker just now, just all on Steel to be defending against what seems to be a pretty heavy B push, and he is going to get the headshot on the Vinny. He picks up the AK and is staying alive inside Checkers right now. Could even find more, and he does. That's the bomb down.
5 bullets left, so you got to be careful about this. The up shot from KS Dorado will take him down, however, before he can even find one of those bullets. And so for Wardell and Kusta, they're left as the last 2, but remember, T's are out of utility now. They can't cross safely, so what they've done instead is they've taken the bomb outside to mid, and they're going to lurk it up into the A site instead.
I wonder how much time will pass before Ghost realizes this is a potential option. It's like they know KS Dorado crossed, though. Like they know he's on this side of B main. And so, as Yuri clears out A and inevitably plants this bomb, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, if these 2 CTs will be able to rotate to A and get a kill before KS Dorado can do much, or whether they just try to play out KS Dorado.
Well, they are going to completely abandon ship on B as soon as they don't hear the plant noise or the beeping. So they will start their rotate over into the other site. KS Dorado will not go for the immediate flank. He's actually going to go around the other side here. Thankfully, Ghost are setting up their retics slowly enough to where this is not going to become a major issue.
He lets his teammate focus on truck, like he knows what's going on at middle and A main.
Now he's going to be able to get himself out through middle, immediately picks off Wardell, who still will be there for a trade, but now he's going to find this operator at the bottom. And it is planted for the guy at the bottom of Highway as well, so KS Dorado will not have the easiest time jumping off the defuse the first time, and immediately re-peeks to finish off the round as Furia have a nice recovery to be able to pick things up for themselves as they claim a 6th round and still keep them well in the lead over Ghost.
Also continuing to really do a lot of damage to this economy of Ghosts. Only won a couple of rounds in a row there before another one comes in for Furia. So didn't really get to build up a lot of bank on those round victories. And now the reset comes in, and just a well-played 2-on-2 from Furia. KS Dorado is being able to patrol middle, let his teammate focus on the truck rotation, and then the bomb, of course, being planted well by Yuri so that KS Dorado would have a favorable 1-on-1 through Highway. So now we do see Ghost trying to buy together a couple of SMGs. Trying to once again maybe do something aggressive over towards the middle. Kusta again putting that pressure on A main as he's done time and time again, but not allowed to actually access it this time. Just forced to fade back. That's definitely Furia staging up for what seems to be a pretty heavy A execute. Again, doing pretty well to vary their tactics. They're not, set in any kind of set pattern. They're definitely changing it up quite often, and they're going to throw some great Molotovs onto the site to flush people out of position and make it a lot harder on Ghost to hold this side as the execute pours in.
Vinny will work himself out now to start this take. He actually just blindly gets the kill against Subrosa through the smoke here. Wardell trying to spam back, but it's Kusta doing all the work currently for Ghost, finding his 3rd kill already here. Down it is 2. Sponka missing that op shot, seals his fate. And with the death of Yuri, Ghost have shut it down. Kusta having himself a fantastic round by picking up a 4K there.
Yeah, really well done. Again, he wasn't really phased by actually buying those Molotovs that came in, just kind of sat inside the site and chose his battles well, as other players might have been somewhat distracted by his teammates. He always found opportunities to come in and take battles that were favorable and won them all. And so it doesn't allow Furia to keep going. In fact, resets Furia right back, who now have to go into a low pistol buy with an AWP on Art. I guess that's a really good spawn for B, so he's looking for the duel, and he's going to find it, and he'll take the victory in it. It's a quick 5-on-4 for Furia.
Push from Subrosa might net him the trade, and then some, though, as Art almost gets picked off as a result of that push. He'll just barely keep himself alive with 5 HP The rest of Ghost, well, they're spread out all across the map here, but they are trying to focus up on the B-bomb site. But that may not be the place that we see the site take happen anymore. Kusta pushing maybe a moment too late there to be able to try and find a pick onto Art, but he can still move in, knock out Spaka. He's seen them trying to push up over top of the boost, and in falling back, he almost gets caught up here by Vinny. Vinny might have actually jumped onto him a little bit too early with those shots. He basically gave him an early warning. Kusta, again, though, is just dominating the situation. He's brought these players down low, and even from the grave after he falls down, picks up the kill into Art with his last HE grenade, leaving only Yuri alone in a 1v3 with 16 HP to play off of.
Yeah, really well done there by Kusa, handling these last couple of rounds really well. Of course, this one's a little bit easier, less firepower against him, but still using that A aggression that he's been doing throughout the half to actually net some kills instead of just information this time. And Ghosts are one away from tying this thing up, and you can see Furia's money is still in really rough shape. The Force Buy didn't pan out. Risk not worth the reward that time. And so Ghost Gaming are well set up to tie this thing up, and it's been a very close half. Like the 3-0 start, sure, for Furia, but since then it's been very back and forth.
It's going to be a quick push coming into the site, even on an eco round here, though. Steel was not necessarily ready for such a quick push. Thankfully, they're recovering it in an okay manner. Losing a few players here, but overall, Wardell picks up the double kill from back behind the checkers box, and he's going to be able to now tie things up. It's 6-6.
Yeah, indeed it is. One of the closer halves we've seen this tournament. Again, once you get past Furia's 3-0 start, we've never seen a team win more than 2 rounds in a row. So out of 7 rounds played, 4 go to Ghost, 3 go to Furia since Pistol. So it's definitely been a lot of fun to watch. I feel like a lot of it's come down to who's won the B duels a lot of the time. Like whether it's Steel shutting down at the AWP or when Furia's caught out Sub Rosa a couple of times on B and been able to, you know, kind of exploit the site. Like that's really been the difference maker, I feel like, in a lot of these rounds. I feel Furia, like I feel like the mid has kind of gone different ways. Like Ghost has sometimes been aggressive and Furia doesn't even try to go for mid control, or Furia goes for it and Ghost give it but hold the sites well. So that's been kind of the stalemate, but again, B's really been the difference maker.
Well, we are going to see Furia this time around just work themselves inside of main first, I do believe here. Wardell, oh, that's a nice swing. Knocks out Art, but the spam coming in from Yuri is just as good, apparently. It's not this guy either that picked up the kill, that's Vinny. He's still trying to do some damage against players like Wardell after they found the trade on Akusta. Not too keen on getting aggressive just yet into that site. It's KS Serrato, though, that picks up the next frag for his team as he grabs Steel and mid back by Z. Spaka nearly getting himself another pickup for the squad, but Sabrosa catches him better. Vinny, though, will be able to burn out Wardell just a moment later. And look at Vinny walking right into the site, sneaks off another kill against Sabrosa. Polio's left alone, but they haven't detected him inside. He gets himself a great lineup for 2 kills, and now brings us into a 1v1. He seems to think that KS Serrato's on site, however, so he's going to be able to run up highway, quickly take him down, and give the round over to Furia.
Very tense round, a roller coaster ride. I mean, Wardell gets an opening pick at A main, and you're liking their chances, but then he gets fired out. Then he sneaks through a smoke, catches another kill inside the site, and all of a sudden A's folded. But then right there at the end, Polio had a real good chance at that. Got a couple of key kills. Had the 1v1, just didn't have the right read on where the last player was, and it goes to Furia. Ghost Gaming buying right back into it as best as they can. They've been actually winning a lot of these types of force buys, and that's what's really kept this game so close. Maybe not this time, though, with these kills from Yuri.
Furia just kind of running it over this time. Yuri, as you said, finding most of the kills. Art will also chime in for one. The last 2 so detached from this scenario, so sadly we're not going to see much of in the way of impact coming out from Ghost in this round, unless Steel pulls off a miracle with his own push. And yep, despite Yuri getting blinded, still has the up presence to quickly pick up a 3rd kill and leave Sabrosa all alone back in Sunroom. 1v5 for him. So obviously we'll just be chilling out here, trying to save the ump, as we'll see Furia pick up the round and go to 8, entering the last one of the half.
To finally Fury handles one of those force buys from Ghost, and you can see the repercussions now. Ghost going to the last round of the half with essentially nothing to work with other than CZs and maybe Deegs, which granted, these are the types of rounds I see people win time and time again, so I don't really want to say it's a shoe-in for Furia, but certainly they've gained an edge in this. Again, I've really respected the fact that Furia has done so well at like just being diverse on their T side. They've really varied their plays up well. And now Art with an entry here on middle already.
So Rosa trying to sneak in behind enemy lines, though, actually gets himself inside of the mid garage. Pretty sure they noticed him, though, yeah. So Art's still going to be able to pick up the kill. Yeah, Serrano doesn't even miss a number either. He's already back to fragging out back in mid as he's recently found the pickup against Wardell. Just Kusta and Steel, the last two still standing. Vinny will be the first to pick one of those two off, leaving only Kusta in a 1v5 situation. And likely now for Furia to go 9-6 at halftime.
Indeed, should be that 9th round coming to Furia any second now. As soon as they want to plant a bomb or just find Kusta out, whichever the case may be. Well played, though. I feel like it's just, again, it's been a really good half. It wasn't, the 3-0 start really changed how this half went, right? That's the difference makers. Who won pistol? Kusta. Yeah, it gets one, but you're not expecting a whole lot more. And there you have it. Furia do take the lead going into the second half. Again, 9-6.
Just a casual little 2-tap from Kusta to pick up one additional kill before eventually going down. And that does keep us nice and close at halftime. The potential really for either team, I feel like, to be able to take the lead now.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think this is like done and settled or anywhere near that, just said, as some of our other halves that have appeared to be close but haven't necessarily been the case. This one's been very back and forth, and it could very well go either direction at the beginning of this next half.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where the 3-0 start is literally what makes the difference. But while we're in halftime, we are going to go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the people who helped make this event happen. And so I'll throw it over to my man Blue to talk to you about the first one.
Yes, of course. So once again, guys, the Zotac Cup is proudly presented by Viper Gaming, brought to you by them. Viper Gaming brings you high-quality keyboards, headsets, mice, and other gaming accessories that are designed to help you power through the even the most intense gaming sessions. Viper Gaming, dominate the game, be gamer certified.
Yeah, and then, of course, another partner out here is going to be Sliver TV. You can watch CSGO on Sliver TV to earn free crates and prizes. It's 100% free to play, so do go check out our folks over at Sliver.
Alrighty, guys, that's going to take us into the second half. All of our players are readied up now, so we're just up to the admins to start things, and then we will be good to dive into the second half and see which of these two teams can really try to get a good advantage here, because like we said, the 3 rounds are really all that make the difference. Besides that, it was a very even half, with both teams constantly going back and forth at each other on gun rounds, and it is time to go into it now as it's live.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that Ghost has impressed me most on T sides, and a lot because of how Steel calls this game. Like, their team plays really good. They trade really well. They never really seem to like put people on solo efforts. Like, they always seem to be set up to trade and work together as a unit. And Cash is a map where I feel like you have so many options. Like, you can just play default and mid control and, you know, just use that to split highway or vents. You can do so much mid-round calling on this map. I think that's one of the strong suits of it. But also, there's a lot of different set pieces you can do on either bomb site. You know, a lot of different smoke walls or, you know, blankets of fire with Molotovs you can do. You know, some of the things that, you know, Threat was kind of inventing with NIP on both bomb sites with Molotov usage. So there's a lot available to a caller on Cash as far as, you know, what pages you can turn to on your playbook, so to speak. So I'll be curious to see what Steel comes up with, as he's bought 2 flashes and a smoke. And everyone else on Glock armor.
Well, it's going to be Ghost.
Ooh, I like this.
Probably just going for a quick split onto the A site here now. Decoy in mid to try and make some noise, but obviously that's not going to trick anyone. Into the site they go, though, and Furia, well, they're in the retake position, so they won't be doing much to stop the execute.
And I like this because they probably knew that retake A was an option with the player on truck. And so if you push heavier numbers to door, then no one really gets spotted. Now, there is an incendiary and a couple of flashes and a kit, so there's still definitely a way for Furia back in here.
And we are going to see, for the most part, Furia just group up first. They're going to go in as a single unit here. The boost up from Polio does give away 2 of their players, and even worse, Yuri recently got a kill too. KS Serrano, there's wiping the guys from Ghost off the board now. Wardell finally getting some impact here. So does Kusta, but Kusta now has lost Wardell, and whoa, the spam coming right back in from Yuri through the smoke there. Follows the Tracers, takes him down, and that's Furia keeping their lead strong as we go now deeper into the second half with them having a 10-6 lead.
Yeah, again, Furia on their map pick of Cash taking the edge here in the second half with that pistol victory. Again, like you said, when you're going for a head boost with the Glock long distance against people coming up highway, it's hard to get those frags against USPs. And on top of that, again, you're giving away that information on where numbers are inside the site. And, you know, Furia used what utility they did have for the retake really efficiently. And, again, cleaned up on all the kills. Didn't hardly take any damage in all of that. So, pretty convincing victory for Furia. And again, that's them winning both pistols this game. They got a 3-0 start in the first half, so showing you how important those pistols really can be when the game is otherwise quite close.
So, Furia. Let's see how exactly they are going to try this round as Ghost are getting ready to go for their own execute. They have gone, of course, for the force buy into this one just to try and add a little bit of extra firepower and catch the Furia roster off guard, but they've already got 2 in the site. We might see Vinny sit back a little bit, though, and play for the post plan again. However, it's not looking like that's the case. This is a little bit dangerous, though, considering the low numbers that are sitting in this site, but as long as they can hold them back and funnel them into 1 or 2 angles, then I wouldn't imagine either of these players having too much trouble holding off even a 5-man hit, which is more than likely what we're going to get here from Ghost after a bit of delay. And here we go.
A couple of smokes, a lot of flashes, and 1 Molotov as they try to run in here and limit the angles with their utility. Art, though, just hiding out here at Forklift. You can see if you're very content just to kind of sit back and wait this out, wait for that bomb to get planted for the utility to fade. Art's already struck into Wardell as well, so this is looking quite good for the Brazilians.
Art finds himself a second pickup now. He tries to wrap back in to find Steel. Pollo, however, along with Sabrosa are going to find some major impact. All of a sudden, it's a 2v3 here, and Furia aren't looking too keen on getting back into this site. In fact, Chaos Dorado and Yuri, it's looking like they're backing up.
Pollo has such low HP.
No,
He's
Yuri
1
wants to
health
go in.
behind the box.
There was some indecision there on Furia. It looked like
Yeah,
Chaos Dorado wanted
I
to
think
fall
you're right.
back, or I mean, if we're being generous, maybe he wanted to go for a flank over there towards Truck, but it looked like he was giving it up. So I feel like there was a little bit of a miscall there, or some confusion amongst the Furia roster.
Almost lined up a couple players here at the SMG, but not quite. Steel gets the final kill, and despite Art's best efforts there, they pull it out inside the site. Some key frags from Steel and Company. If you look at the scoreboard, this time Furia's not getting the 3-0 start. It's going to be an equal exchange, and so we're going to have this scrappy beginning to the second half of this map 1 of the grand finals as these 2 teams try to fight for that early economic position. Furia, of course, have forced right back into this, as you'd expect in a scenario like this. It's going to take 2 in a row to force someone to tap out, unless someone decides to get conservative.
Ghost Star's going to start pushing in closer to these B halls, however. Molly down onto the ground with a few Furia players lurking around the corner. They do have to be careful of this, though. Steel's still trying to take control pretty quickly. If he walks too quickly, though, he'll run into the CZ, as we've seen right there. Yuri is the one to pick up the actual kill. One more still lurks deeper in the halls. It's Wardell. He's looking for at least 1 trade. You know, he's got Art locked into the corner. He's very, very worried about a push that could come from teammate. There's the trade, though. A good spam through the smoke to find Yuri. He wants to go back in for more, too, but he has to bail out of that.
Yeah, A bomb site's been left open again. A bit more of a retake setup here. Vinny trying to fight from the highway, not able to do it. And while Quesarado has been able to find a kill on the Wardell outside B, they're still in a 3-on-3 retake here. No kit either. It's worth noting that. Means they need to work a bit faster. Also, no incendiary to flush anyone out of position. It's all going to come down to flashes and duels.
The Art coming out with a kill out of absolutely nowhere. It's Kusta and Pollo now left for Ghost here. Furia trying to pull off the retake. Kusta picking up some nice kills, though. 2 for him. He hasn't even traded yet either. Spaka finally getting it, but he's only got 5 bullets left. Over to the CZ. He knows he's got Pollo somewhere on the inside, jumping onto the bomb first off. He's pretty much out of time now because he hasn't been able to get onto the bomb quickly. Picked up the kill, though, but without a kit, there is no time remaining. So he has to fall away, and the round will be going over to Ghost on the timer, with Furia only surviving with 1.
Yeah, they did not have the money to buy around this AK, really. They went for the force that round. It didn't work out. So you'd really be hard-pressed to support this AK with more firepower. But we do see him drop the AK to Quesarado and actually also get a CZ drop out there to Yuri. Actually, they give the AK back to Spaka since Quesarado didn't want to buy armor.
Well, we are going to see Ghost try to go out towards mid early on into this round. He'll swing on the inside of it. With Steel kind of leading the charge. It's Sabrosa that's already found a kill in the vents, though. Pollo also bursting through here as well. So Furia, just coming up completely empty on this eco round. Even the AK that was saved from the last round gets dropped pretty much immediately upon taking contact. So it's just KS Dorado, and he too is not going to be able to stand for much longer. Ghosts get their 9th round of the board. They're 1 away from tying it up at 10-10.
Indeed they are. And again, we've seen this from Ghost a lot. Just their T-sides looking a lot stronger than CT, it feels like. They really get to kind of show some of their strengths here on the attack. But we haven't really seen Furia be able to buy up against them just yet, so it's still early to call. look at this. Ghost Gaming. Everyone with full nade sets heading outside B. They have so many Molotovs to cover this B bomb site. Or checkers if they want to do that also. This is going to be a heavy execute with a lot of nades behind it.
The nade's actually going to do a decent amount of damage too. It hits almost directly on the Polio there, so it's going to bring him down to 60. Spaka grabs the first kill though as they do try to overwhelm the site quickly. He's found another one as well. Chaos Serrano tries to dive in, but he'll be counted out. He's the only one though. Everyone else's successful attempts, or everyone else's attempts, I should say, at getting aggressive have failed outright as Furia's been able to hold the line.
Vinny heard that and said, nope, I'm going to go back to the A-bomb site. Thinking about coming out to mid for the rotation, but they boosted the bomb back through. Wardell's still here inside checkers. He can't really get away unless he crosses back through B main.
Vinny's left the site open too.
Yeah, he pushes through A main. Looking to maybe try to get a flank out on B players or maybe even flank through middle. Sub Rosa is wondering where he's gone. Surely he thinks to himself, there's got to be someone. And Wardell keeps getting killed on this B bomb site. And it's not as if Sub Rosa couldn't just run this bomb through CT spawn to B either. This keeps happening. But no, with that frag, I think Sub Rosa kind of realizes that his best bet's to stick around here at A.
He still thinks that someone's on the site, though. You can tell the way he's keeping eyes, on that quad over here. He knows for certain that someone might be hiding out on the inside. So finally feels secure to go for the plant. Furia will come to the realization and start their rotate. They do have the 2v1. They do not have a whole lot of utility to do it, but with 2 smokes might be pretty useful here.
Ooh, look at this little move from Sub Rosa. Oh, I thought he might go all the way around, but he didn't really plant for that.
Now he's just watching for a quick flank from B Halls, and sadly this is going to leave him completely out of his element as the smoke will just go inside of A main. He'll throw another one over top of the bomb here. So Zaporozhye is going to be denied vision, and doubly so. He'll get up onto the site. No kit to be seen. They need to jump on the defuse very soon. A great flashbang as well, and Zaporozhye picks up both kills. Massive clutch coming in from him, and it gives Ghost the round, and now ties us up at 10-10.
That was not an easy clutch for Sub Rosa by any stretch, given the way those smokes came down. He had no choice to flash his way through because he has to respect the fact they could be sticking and having one cover. Yet he lands both of his shots. Brilliant work, and you got to give some credit to Wardell. Those kills he got in the B bomb site held those guys in place and allowed Sub Rosa to get that bomb down in A and get good post-plant positioning. So, well done from both of those players. And they tied up the game. They put Furia in low econ.
Victory, as you said, has now broken the Furia, bringing them down to just a couple of pistol upgrades. Better the flash on the opener for Polio is going to do great damage to Chaos Serrano. Molly will prevent anyone from chasing, or at least he believes that. They still have Art behind the box, so they're going to have to pay attention to. The rest of the T's will feel okay to start throwing a little bit of pressure towards this site too. Most notably, Kusta inside of the vents is ready to go. He's already throwing a little bit of utilities to prime himself for the jump in. Art's really the only player they have to watch out for though as they go for this hit. And they immediately check for him. So Kusta gets the clean kill. Rest of the team going to try to rotate back over from Furia, but it's a little bit too far gone, especially with the smoke covering out tree room. Serrano's got a small gap to spot through this. Mistimes it though, gives away his position at 14 HP. He cannot stand in the open like that. 1 or 2 random bullets and he's going to go down.
Yep, Kusa's already taken out Vinny, and like you said, Serrano's already quite low alongside Yuri. So they can hit some magical headshots with these beaks from heaven. They're just going to have to kind of backpedal, and there is Wardell already holding Yuri out. They're still lingering around, hoping they can maybe get an exit and grab an AK or something like that, but Ghost is just not giving it up to him at all, as they'll take a lead.
Player finding that kill now leaves Chaos Serrano all alone trying to save inside of CT spawn. He does take a pretty aggressive angle though, so he definitely is not afraid to go out and hunt a kill if it would present itself to him. But hasn't had any of those opportunities just yet.
This is going to be Ghost's first lead of the game, by the way. They had it tied at 6-6 at one point. That's the closest they had it, but now they've pulled out one in front. They haven't lost a single round since Pistol in the second half. So they're starting to really find a good groove here, but of course the money's back for Furia. What do they want to do here? Do they want to go double AWP? That's going to be the big question, I feel like, because they have a couple of different players who can do it. Like Spock is obviously their primary, usually Art's secondary, but we've seen Yuri pick up a second op as well throughout this tournament. And I feel like both of them are better than Spaka. Like, unfortunately, I think either one of them can have more impact. And then Vinny actually gets the AUG, which is something that he did quite a lot throughout yesterday on both sides. He would get the SIG a lot on T side as well. So they will actually go double up with Spaka and Art. So let's see how that pans out. That is their adjustment they hope will net them more success. Now
we are going to see Ghost starting off on this round a little bit more of an even split of their players across the map. They might go for fast mid controller with this 3-man stack that they have in the garage right now. Yeah, they're going to burst out. Serado's got a nasty surprise coming his way. Thankfully spots it just as he's unpeaking, so he's definitely not going to try to test the waters there anymore unless he's got teammate support, which at the moment he really doesn't. Vinny, again, as we noted before too, also very keen on buying the scoped rifles, the AUG and the Krieg on the T side.
Yeah, and he's been pretty proficient with both of them, so I can't even really fault him for it. It does cost a little bit of extra money, obviously, so in tough economic situations, it does maybe cost you extra utility to have that gun over an M4, but to each their own as Ghost Gaming, again, just opening up very default. Searching for some map control. Art holding A main. Could see him finding something here soon. But this highway pressure they're about to have, and the fact that they had Steel in checkers, this makes things so awkward for Furia. There's actually a lot of control for these two players from Ghost.
Smokes have gone in early on too, but Steel picks up the opening kill for these guys as they're going to try to swing inside. Yuri as well, only holding here. And yeah, indeed, remember, this is all just a bit of a fake. Chaos Serato rotates back in and finds the first trade. Art, in the meanwhile, was looking like he would have gone back for a second. They are going to start to do it now that they've countered up the two players that did push back in. Definitely made it convincing, though, and as they burst into the site, Wardell almost getting caught back off, but he's got support from Kusta pushing highway. Kusta, however, will get taken down on the wrap corner by Vinny. So this is not as secure as it would seem, as all of a sudden this is a 2v4 post plant. Sabrosa with a very aggressive push. The flashbang that he got to his system did not work at all, and Wardell does the same exact thing, so they just give themselves away to the Furia roster. They'll pull off the retake and tie it up at 11-11.
Yeah, it's a good fake in the sense they pulled all the rotation, but it still left them in a 3 versus 4 post plant. So at that point, if you're Ghost, you feel like we got to make a play, because if we just sit back with 3 players inside the site and we wait for 4 people to retake us, we're probably going to lose. Especially whenever Kusa gets caught and it's a 2-on-4 now, someone has to make a huge play to have a chance. You know, otherwise you're just 2 people sitting boxed in inside of a site while 4 people rush you with full utility and armor and M4s and all that good stuff. So a good misdirection, but it just wasn't capitalized on well enough, and Fury have tied the game right back up in the snap of a finger. Double op still intact for Furia. We do see Ghost Gaming now pivoting just a little bit more emphasis over towards B main this time. Wardell looking for a pick through the lobby, but Smokes will blind his vision. In the meantime, players already gone down at A main.
With that kill being found now. Take a look at Steel trying to push himself forward. Trying to get over towards checkers at the very minimum. Won't be able to find that positioning just yet. Yuri also still waiting back inside the checkers here too for the push to come in this direction. But Spaka is going to be able to strike Steel down. As soon as those smokes fade away back by T-Main, they'll eliminate him. The rest of the team here for Ghost. Remember, they've kept a bit of a fake alive here once again. So we've got 2 players lurking in the checkers. Yuri still yet to jump out as well, but they're going to try to counter boost into mid, and this is a dead giveaway if Yuri sees this. The break of the vent, Yuri tries to pick up both kills, but Sabrosa will be able to translate the trade. The problem for Kusta is, look, he immediately got mollied out back down outside of checkers, or inside of Squeaky, excuse me. So he's not even able to push into the site on his lonesome. It's been delayed, and if he tries to go in, he's alone now, so it's going to be all too obvious where the take attempt is, and there we go. Eventually just peeks into the op, but Art takes it anyway. Furia will pick up the round, and now they're only 4 away from closing out the first map.
Yeah, Hops coming in huge that time for Furia. Art with the opening pick at A main, but then Spaka had a couple of big ones as well. He's been awfully quiet throughout this game and throughout this tournament in general, but definitely a big round for him there. He's actually a veteran. I was reading this from Thorin I think this morning, where apparently he actually briefly played for MIBR in 1.6 towards the end. So he's definitely a guy who's been around. I know he's like 28 years old, so he definitely is a veteran of playing Counter-Strike in general. So just worth throwing that out there. We're going to see a little bit lesser bought Ghost here now. Wardell still with an op, though, patrolling A main while they leave Kusta to kind of lurk over here towards B with the SMG. He's been a lot more of a peripheral role player these days with rifles. I feel like usually it's kind of like Steel and Sabrosa that do a lot of the entry work for this team. Crisscross Smokes are on middle to try to see if they can't push out and get towards Vince, but not necessarily committed to a mid-B split by any means.
Polya will start to work himself forward here now too as he leads the charge back by A-Main, but they are ready to go into the site. Vinny here, ready to defend it. He's also got support coming from back quad as Art has the op. Vinny will strike true. Art will miss, but he won't take any damage here. Throws the smoke into the molly to keep himself in this position. all the way onto the ground to try and block off Vinny's path too, but he's going to fall next at the hands of Pollo. Art still ready to pick up kills from back quad though, however it's only one. Now Sabrosa jumping back in also finds the next frag here for Ghost, leaving just Spaka and Yuri in the fight for Furia. Yuri with his quick rotate onto Highway gets him a quick pickup against Sabrosa, and now we're tied again down to a 2 versus 2. Ghost have the nice hold on this. Furia ready to move back in with that little bit of utility that they do have left and ready to go. And as they push up to the site, Wardell peeks back out, immediately finds the first piece of impact, leaving only Yuri alive. 1v2 set against him. Peeks right into Wardell as he closes out the round again, and will be tied up once more, now at 12-12.
Yeah, even though Seal got caught in the door pretty early, the rest of the attack worked out quite well. Pollo and company swinging in, Wardell at the op later on. Fantastic work there. And now Furia's lost bonus, or excuse me, only won 2 rounds in a row, now been reset. And you can see that it's going to cost them heavily. They're going to invest back into the double op again. They have no money left over after this. This is where Ghost Gaming can really steer out in front if they're able to hold off this buyback from Furia. The money's just not there for the Brazilians after this. Look at this, though. Art changing things up, getting aggressive in the doorway. First time he's really done that, and catches Kusta way off guard, who's normally been playing over towards B.
Steel gets himself a lurk over here. He's made noise on the jump up, so Spaka knows he's there now. Gonna find the shot, but the peaked head. It's gonna be such a surprise to Spaka there probably. Steel gets the kill instead. Now he's got an up to play off of and some entry power into the B bomb site, so this might entice his teammates to come this way.
He definitely knows one's heaven with all this utility coming out, so Steel just gathering information right now. Knows that the pressure he's causing is probably causing at least one rotate.
He's going to pull the bomb in this direction here, too, as we do have the rotate coming over from Sabrosa. It's going to take, of course, a couple of seconds in order to do that. The flash out is going to let these players back in, though. KS Serrano first to strike by taking down Steel, and now the beat hit may not look like the best idea anymore.
No, not in it at all. If you could have gotten that one kill, then sure, you would have known that B is probably clear, and we just got to worry about Heaven. And he had a smoke down on spawn, so it was well set up for a B hit until that kill comes in against Steel. So now the remaining 3 are trying to call an audible here and get themselves into this A-bomb site. Well, he's still got Vinny and company here ready to go.
Go down to the ground. It's Vinny striking first. Yuri flanking through the Molotov there. Takes out Sabrosa. So multiple attempts from Ghost to take both bomb sites, and sadly just none of it working for them in this round.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they actually had a Molotov on Forklift, which would have flushed Yuri out, and they could have gotten the kill, but because Vinny got one with an AUG inside sight, they were focused on trading him, and so Yuri's able to kind of, you know, survive the whole Molotov issue and actually push past it and get a frag as well. So you also got to account that they were in a 3-on-4 when it was all said and done. Fury doing well to kind of contest Steel at B and not let him get an advantage. So they're fending off Ghost pretty well now. It was a big run from Ghost Gaming. I mean, they won 5 in a row to take a lead, and now we've been seeing a little bit of equal exchanges at this point. Money's vulnerable for both teams, and Ghost is going to be the first one to suffer victim to it. So we can already see that their arsenal for this next round is not necessarily ideal.
And as such, they've chosen to take a tack pause here to figure things out a little bit for themselves. Furia well ahead now at this point. May not appear like it just yet, but as long as they get through this run in clean fashion, they'll build up a decent amount of money. Even with the rebuy coming in from Ghost, at that point, Furia will be at 14. One more round from that point, and a few more away from being able to close it out. So Ghosts are up against the wall. This force buy, sadly, may prove to be slightly suboptimal, especially since there's 2 ops going to be still present there on the CT side, in addition to the AUG and full utility for everyone across the board here.
It's going to be a curious round because if Ghosts lose this, Furia get 14, and there's no money to buy to stop Furia from getting map point. So a lot is going to be weighing on Ghost's shoulders here.
Popped around the corner there, back in the B halls. Again, Steel's just trying to make some noise, draw CTs in.
I think they really just want to try to set up a Wardell to get a pick with that off. That's what they're relying on. That's their biggest piece of firepower in this round, and they're kind of trying to support his way forward. As like you said, Steel trying to at least keep people in place at B, maybe even sneak in a frag or 2.
More than anything, they're guarding their opera, though, leaving Wardell just inside of A main, but they will get into the site pretty much with 0 resistance against them.
Yeah, we've seen Furia play retake A lot. Like, they've really been focused on retakes, and they've done well with them, so you can't blame them.
Wardell, though, does find his first impact, though, against Art. Now, we'll be ready for more to come his direction as well. The jump over, going to be Spaka probably peeking first. They might double peek this, though, making it a little bit difficult for Wardell to find a target. However, that is not what occurs. Wardell gets himself a nice clean frag. Furia doing this way too slow. He's still trying to set up smokes and everything like that. Wardell, nice shot. Goes a little bit too far over the top though, and now a 3v2 still in favor for Ghost. We do have kits on both the remaining six, but they just don't have time to get into the site here. One kill from Vinny, he's immediately traded. Spaka doesn't want anything to do with that though. He's backing up. Ghost will win the round on the explosion, tying us up again now at 13-13.
Oh, trying to go get that op, but he can't find it, unfortunately, so they'll have to spend money. And in fact, they won't even be able to afford an op, so that's actually quite huge. They couldn't save the AWP coming to this next round. Worth noting that, especially since Wardell popped all 3 kills with it that round, so he certainly was able to make impact with that gun. Also a serviceable AK player, though, so it's not as if they're going to be hamstrung by the fact he doesn't have it. And also, Fury are also quite vulnerable on money right now, right? A big reset just happened for them. Well, Blue, we've catching some overtimes this tournament. I think.
Ready for another one?
I feel like the way that this is playing out right now, it just has that vibe to it.
Wow.
I feel like now I have like this detection system for overtimes in
do
the
you?
future. Yeah, I mean,
It's very cool.
yeah.
How does it work?
I'm feeling it happening here. After all the overtimes we've casted throughout this tournament, you just get a feeling for it. Like I feel like it's just there's something in the air.
Well,
And extra rounds is what I'm sniffing.
we'll see if that ends up being true here. Furia, it looks like they are going to split 3 of their players off into the B site and just try to stack towards there, leaving only, leaving just their opper inside of the A bomb site, basically. Ghosts are going to, at the moment, look like they'll be playing into that, however, as they too have a couple of SMGs to work with, so they're slightly downgraded, but could be intentional just to try and stack up a little bit of money because they know more than likely Furia would have been completely broken here. But again, they have to go into the 4-man setup. Art tries to sneak into the corner unsuccessfully. Steel finding himself a second kill too, and Chaos Dorado just sits in the back. Yuri will find one, but then gets traded, and it's not too much longer until Chaos Dorado is eventually found out there by Steel. So with all those kills having transpired on the B side, it leaves just Spaka back by the truck angle with not much else to do except save, as Ghosts are going to take the round. They'll go up 14-13 now with the lead in their favor.
Spaka just saving this AWP here on the other side of the map as Ghosts do again take the lead. They've been either tied or playing from behind most of the game other than that one lead they had earlier. I think it was like 11-10 or something like that they had. So starting to figure it out here. They've actually been quite good on full gun rounds. Again, it's really just been because they lost both pistols that it's even this close. This time around, though, in this half, they didn't allow it to, be extended. They quickly responded with 5 rounds of their own. Looks like Spaka will save this AWP as he's caught Kusta chasing, and there's really no one else left to go after him. So there you have it. Ghost just a couple away from stealing, cash away from Furia, their map pick. But Furia can buy back this round. This is their last chance. No money after this. And they'll take some extra time to talk about it.
They are going to need to figure out how exactly they want this decision to work out for them. Ghosts, like we said, like we were talking about before, both teams really kind of being brought to the bitter end of their economies whenever they buy into this. No one's been able to establish any good footing because of how back and forth the half has been. So we're not really seeing anyone build up a massive
other than
bank.
that big 5-round winning streak that Ghosts had earlier this half, it's mostly been like winning maybe 3 rounds in a row at most. Mostly like just 1 or 2. So it's been very scrappy, that's for sure.
So that denies any major economy buildup for the most part. Forcing constant rebuys, leaving both teams relatively low when it comes to these bigger gun rounds.
Yeah, and that's caused us to have quite the game, and it's all going to ride on this for Furia at the very least. M4s except for Spaka. He's the one man with the AWP. He's going to be running over towards that B bomb site, and there are plenty of terrorists in that direction. I'm not sure if anyone will give him the peek that he wants. As he goes into checkers with his teammate, trying to get some aggressive positioning here. They've heard his op bullet as well, but they're just going to keep rushing through. They don't care, but Yuri's doing fantastic. Only 4-1 though.
Play to pick up the next kill as they find that trade and bring things down into a 4v4. Poyo still trying to find himself a wrap back around as well, but Spaka is also going to be placed on the inside here. Chaos Dorado to find the most recent pickup here now. Furia are battling it back. Great hold from them inside of this B bomb site. There's only Sabrosa and Poyo in it. Sabrosa has the capability to go for a plant. Poyo tries to pounce on one of the checkers players, though unsuccessfully. Now flash will be sent against him. He sees that lurk going into team A, and instead though picks him off and adds one more, so we're even again. Into it 2v2. Ghosts still have a chance after all. Now they'll feel secure to go for the plant here. But obviously with that plant having just gone down now, there's still so much time left for both Art and Vinny to try and find a way back in.
Art already creeping out here onto the balcony. Does spot the player inside the site, gets him down quite low, but he can't find the kill, but luckily his teammate has found one, leaving Subroza with 1 HP. Oh, this is gonna be so difficult, but he hears the drop down. He's trying to play ring around the Rosie, but he can't get away. Art finds the frag, he'll get the defuse, and we're all tied up again.
14-14, it'll go the distance. Round 30 is what we need to play out to get a winner out of this map, or maybe even overtime is looking very likely with the scrappy nature of this map.
Does seem that way, doesn't it? You can see that in that round, Ghost Gaming were taking a lot of care just to block off checkers with smokes and like really just focus on the bomb site. But Casterado was able to jump down Vince and kind of still get around one of those smokes over towards the main side and get a couple of really big kills. I think his 2 kills were probably the most impactful on the round that really caused Ghost to be in a lot of trouble. Poyo obviously kind of rescues the round, gets it back into contention, but in the end, Subroza gets left in kind of an impossible 1v1 with just 1 health. It would have taken a crazy effort to pull that off. The thing is, like, Ghost's money is still not that great. Obviously, they have the bomb plant. Obviously, they'll buy all if they can here. They can't just concede. But, again, it feels like we haven't really seen very many rounds where both teams felt like they had a pretty comfortable buy. It's been a lot of bargain buys throughout this half.
While following that, though, we are going to see...
Look at this, 4 guys with at least 20 kills on Furia.
Yeah.
That's pretty fantastic.
It's been very even. Look at, I mean, like...
Even the frag distribution on Ghost is quite tight. They have
The frag
obviously
distribution for
Wardell
pretty much
out there.
the entire server is split. But like, if we discount Spaka, it's like 18 to 24, I think, is the difference.
Yeah.
On the low end and the top end. I might have missed 1 or 2 players there, but...
Yep. Well, they're going to go for a boost. This is the first time Fury has done this all game. So that could certainly catch a Ghost off guard, unless they heard something here. They heard the door open, so they might suspect. No, they don't look up.
Art and Vinny going to be ready to take duels. However, Art falls down, and Vinny just, I don't know why he doesn't check for additional players on his right side there, as it was well open for him, so that's going to let Ghost walk right in. Kusta getting himself the next kill, puts us into a 4v2, so Yuri and Spaka, scratch that, just Spaka now remaining. Spaka, again, with the money being where it's at, now, especially since he's been flanked out at mid, he's not even going to be able to save. Seal takes him down, it's Ghost that go up to map point first, but they've only got 1 chance to close it down before we end up in overtime.
Yeah, big entries there from Steel Wardell and Kusta, particularly the last 2 I named. Big round. Again, it does cause me to scratch my head why Vinny just got the 1 frag on boost and never looked towards sight. I feel like he could have had so much more impact if he's a little bit more mindful about what was going on in the rounds. And now Furia will scrap the bottom of the barrel to get these CZs and the P250 to try to see if they can't, in fact, push us into yet another overtime in this tournament.
Wardell ready to move up with a teammate already inside of A main 2 to try and make a push here. Obviously splitting into a T default, though, leaves plenty of room for Ghost to still change up their own narrative in terms of whether they want to take this bomb. Furia, having no choice really but to play aggressively, has led to them having a stack on just the outside of the B bomb site there to look for Hall's presence.
Yeah, Ghost is anticipating this, though. They're waiting for someone to show themselves. It feels more like Furia just push up into close angles, give themselves the best chance to leverage these CZs and what they're best at, which is these tricky angles where they get close-range battles. As Ghost are now just kind of doing some of the staples of mid-control, actually. Clearing out Vince with a Molotov, putting a pop flash out there, trying to just get that mid-control. That gives you a lot more space to work with, but Kisarado's up close to the CZ. That's the problem you have to worry about, but Gusta, he's there to deal with it. That's 1 step closer.
Furia down now to only 4 players remaining. 49 seconds as well, so that's still a pretty decent amount of time for Ghost to play off of here, but they need to make a decision soon. They're still kind of scrambling around the map. Like headless chickens here trying to figure out which site they want to take it to. I think they finally made a decision, though. It's looking like they're going to head over towards the B site. Steel moving in. A nice spot to get him a kill against Yuri. Only losing 60 HP along the way. Spaka, your next player to keep your eyes on. He finds one, drops the bomb. However, Art also pushed back in. Spaka running out of ammo in the CZ has no choice but to try and trade for the AK. He'll also get on Subroza, leaving just Vinny for a 1v4, which will not happen. Ghost take it. Full 30 rounds to get it done, but they do indeed come out on top with 16 of 14. They're now set up in the series to win with a 1-0 advantage. Only 1 more map away now, and they punch their ticket to the Hong Kong Grand Finals.
What a close game that was, and what a tight spread of fragging, especially for Furia. 4 of their players between 20 and 22 kills, so they definitely had a big effort from the bulk of their team. And even for Ghost, you had obviously Wardell up top with 26, but then the next 2, Kusta and Steel, both had 20, and then Subroza had 19. So there was a lot of contributions from everyone in this game. And I think, again, you know, despite Furia winning both pistols and getting a 3-0 start in the first half, they still lose the game. So a lot of credit must be given to Ghost to kind of grind that one out despite, you know, all the economic scrappiness of it all and not having the good starts that they wanted. In a game that's that close, losing pistols means so much more. They still found a way to weather that storm. And again, we talked about how their T-sides have looked strong, well composed, and we saw that again here on Cash.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a very, very close map overall. Like you said, going the full distance of 30 rounds. Incredibly likely if Furia didn't kind of screw over their economy towards the end of it, that they might have been able to take that to overtime as well. Just unfortunately, I only end up with like CZ purchases basically for that entire last round there, which made it very, very difficult, especially with the way that Ghost played it.
There was very few rounds where we had like full buys for both teams. But that's enough from us for now. We're going to pass it over to our wonderful gentleman over in the analyst area. So Red Eye, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Cash?
Yes, thank you very much. Game 1 then. In the bag for Ghost Gaming. Didn't have it all their own way, didn't have it easy either. Pushed all the way by Furia right up until the very last round. 16-14 between these two teams. Tight game. I mean, it's kind of what we expected because we've had it all the way through the tournament, so why should the grand final be any different?
Yeah, super tight game. I was getting a little worried for Ghost that first half there when they, you know, the Furia guys go up, they get the first couple rounds, Ghost win around, and they get reset. On CT side Cash, we've talked about utility being so important, and that was looking like a 10-5, 11-4 half. For Ghost then to string a couple rounds together after that was huge. Wardell continues to be a massive player for Ghost. Obviously a lot of great play across the board, but his op kills have just been pivotal for these guys. He's been hitting some insane shots, and a great first half by them. Both teams fighting for that one. Ghost was able to just keep a little bit more composed until the end.
Tommy, the bonus here is that if we've learned anything about Furia over the last 2 days, they start slowly. So this is a good sign.
Yeah, the problem is this was their map choice, I believe. The next map is going to be Train, and that was the map we were saying should favor Wardell, who's been playing fantastic, like Jordan said. He really was the, especially during the CT side, he was the key player getting a lot of 2-kill rounds in the middle section of the half, where they actually racked up all those 6 rounds before allowing Furia to sort of go in a little run to close it out. I mean, I think half of this highlight reel has been him. He's been really good this tournament, really good this final. I think he's going to be the key player to watch going forward, and Furia just have to find a way to somehow counter him. I mean, Spaka's just been weak as his opping counterpart.
Well, that's what I was going to mention. You know, we're talking a lot about Wardell, but on the flip side, you know, we're supposed to hear a lot about Queserado and Yuri being the two main players, but in this game, Vinny, who's kind of just like the taco of the team, was putting in a lot of work, and I think he was like 5-2 in opening duels, or 7-1 or something like that. And then Art was also up there in opening duels putting work, and he's a strat caller. So they need their key players, Yuri, they need him to get in there, they need Spock to step it up. You know, that guy's been playing forever. He has a lot of experience, he knows what he needs to do. I'm assuming he's been studying the current version of the game a lot, so he needs to get in there and make a little bit more of an impact, but stats don't always tell the full story. Maybe he's helping a lot on CT.
Listen, Jordan, we both watched the game.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he wasn't hitting all of his shots, but at the same time, the retakes on A could have been a little bit better. Well, actually, they ended up winning this other round I was thinking of. But either way, they need the right players to step up for Fury in the next map.
We've got a scoreboard for you. Just show you some of the KD and ADR. So we'll show you that right now. Tommy, moving on to training, you've already made the point that Ghost in theory hold the advantage. They pick the map. It basically allows them to warp the way they want to warp on that map. So how do Furia cope with that?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, they just need to be better across the board. They need all their 5 players playing slightly better. I think Spaka was the one that was kind of invisible throughout the first map, and like I said, you know, especially as the opera, it's going to be important for him to have a good game in the second map. I mean, aside from that, they have still looked like a slightly more complete team, I would say. I think Ghost are right up there based on what we've seen. Haven't seen them as much. But, you know, Train is a more tactical map, certainly, than Cash.
Yeah. I actually got the vetoes mixed up. I just remembered because I was thinking about it beforehand. It's actually Overpass. Remember, because I was talking about the differences of the opening on Overpass. And I think we're thinking about the semi semi-veto. So with Overpass, those are the points I was actually making before the game I think are going to actually be even more important after we watch that first one. Wardell is going to be a big player here. If Furia is any loose at all with their default and not peeking corners with flashes, they're going to get offed and punished. Likewise for Ghost. You know, even though we didn't see Spaka pop off, offing on Overpass isn't the most complex thing. It's pretty straightforward. You're taking advantage of spawns and long corridors. Ghosts need to have a tight default, and they need to make sure they're not getting picked. Let Wardell get in the open, do his thing, and get the fraggers out there.
Yeah, I mean, you still kind of do have to move your mouse, which is the part that Spaka has so far been struggling with. Putting the crosshair on a person
Something
before
that Jordan
clicking.
struggled with earlier on.
I think I had 42 kills.
I can't say Jordan specifically struggled, but you know, it is a team game.
It is a team game, and that's what it's going to come down to on Overpass. So Ghost is looking like they have a good strat book here. The only problems I saw for Ghost throughout that game is some of their after-plant protocols. They had like one of their riflers hiding quad, an MP9 guy forklift. Like some of those small things are the difference where Strawless immediately plant the bomb. The person with the utility and the low gun goes into the spot where he should be. The person with the rifler gets in the position he should be in. Ghost has a lot of good tactics down. They got a lot of good individual play down, but they need to tidy up the protocols and the small decision making in those key
That's
moments.
not surprising though, for the fact that they haven't necessarily been together that
well. The thing is it's also an individual thing, an awareness of player thing, and a lot of the guys in Ghost are skilled, but they just need to keep drilling these small protocols into their mind, because that's kind of what will speak no matter who you play with. Right? I went and played with Mouse the other day. Really fast, we had a couple conversations. We knew how we were going to play the map because you know what you're focused on. So I think the over-analytical stuff of Ghost might get too much in their thoughts. They forget to just say, hey, I have this rifle. I should just stand here and fight this corridor, because they're not going to like it on the other team if I do that.
From Furia's point of view, they head into map 2. They've been here before. It's kind of like the third series in a row where they've been down a game. They know what that's like, and they know they can come back. That's going to give them confidence, surely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're still worried. But you know, they are facing down the end of the barrel.
Indeed.
So you know, it is a point where you kind of do have to step up a little bit. You do have to play better. You got to make fewer mistakes. Yeah. And admittedly, so far, I think Ghosts have looked better, and I think Wardell's a big part of that.
Good stuff. We're going to head to a break right now, and when we come back, we'll have our second game. Our commentary team of Blue and Dust will be here to guide you through. Is this the championship map for Ghost Gaming? We're going to find out very shortly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Zotac Cup Masters. It's the North American Regionals Grand Final now between Ghost Gaming and Furia, with Ghost now taking the edge after they won the first map back on Caps. They're up 1-0 currently.
Could be our last map of the tournament, Blue.
Could very well be.
Could be the end of a long run as well of us doing a lot of work over the last month here.
That's true, that's true.
Did this, Zotac EU, of course, a couple of DreamHack events. It's been a busy June for both of us, and it might be coming to a conclusion here. Or not. We could see Furia steal this one away. I think, though, just kind of looking at things, when you think about Ghost, they actually use Overpass to qualify for Stockholm pretty well. And the core of this team, when they were on Torque, they actually used Overpass to great effect to qualify for both DreamHack Tour and Belo Horizonte. It was actually one of their better maps, so certainly a map that Ghost will be comfortable on their pick. And for Furia, I wouldn't necessarily say they're bad on it, because I feel like they still have a positive record within Brazil, but it's definitely one of their lesser played maps. There's a couple of maps they just straight up don't play. So those would obviously be the two maps that are at the bottom, but this would be right above that, right? So I think you have to get about 4 or so maps deep before you start talking about Furia's Overpass.
Which means, obviously, it's going to be potentially bad news so that they don't get off to a hot start here. And we see Ghost went to dominating form. Now, Cash was very close, probably one of the closest maps we've had so far in the series that didn't go to overtime.
Yeah, for sure. And even the ones that went to overtime, it got to a point where it was like delirium and people doing crazy things. It didn't really feel like a close game. It felt more like just kind of sloppy CS. Whereas that was like a close game that was deserving of it because people were making good plays and stuff like that. Very limited mistakes being made by both teams and all of that. And we'll see how things shake down here. If it continues to be close, or whether or not someone is able to confidently take this. Again, what's on the line here, of course, is that slot in Hong Kong to represent the Americas, and that 8-team event that takes place at the end of August for $300,000 from Americas. We already have Team Liquid that was actually invited. We still have one more invite to give away, which I don't think's been announced yet, so we're still waiting to hear, but it could be another Americas team, could not be. Then, of course, we already had VP and Kingwin kind of coming in to represent Europe. And then we've had MVPK qualifying to the Asian qualifiers. And then so we have some more invited teams from Asia, which included, of course, the likes of Tyloo, Vici Gaming, Flash coming into that as well.
All right, guys, well, we are ready to go. The knife round is going live now, so let's jump in game and take a look at the action. Ghost with their first chance to close down the series right here, right now, and take the trophy for the regionals as well. For Furia, it's time to fight for survival.
That is exactly the case, as we are going to see them go for the knights to see who's going to get that side selection. Obviously, CT side is the heavy favorite on a map like Overpass. It's probably one of the most CT-sided maps in the rotation. Okay, Steel, that's your teammate. It's not really the guy you want to be knifing.
Not the best way to start it.
No, definitely not.
Let's see if that ends up affecting him. I don't think that little damage is going to end
up. Look at this
knife round
stretch.
Yeah, Ghost just end up winning it out completely anyway. So they'll take the side choice to start. And more than likely, we'll be sticking with CT.
Look at them knife round strats, John.
So, man, they're important in this tournament. They're playing on every map here. So
that is true. That is a little bit different than other tournaments where it's just side choice for the team who didn't pick the map. But
yeah,
doing things differently here. And so Ghost will get to stay on that CT side. And again, it's going to be a map where Wardell's going to be huge, as most operators are going to be on a map like this on the CT side, being over mostly towards the A side of the map. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for him. Also, guys like Steel and Koos are the ones that move around the most on this map with rifles, trying to make rotations and stacks and pushes. So those are another couple of key names to keep eyes on. As we get live here in the pistol, Wardell already pushing up the fountain with his USP. He's already found Art, and he'll be able to backpedal without anyone being able to exchange damage on him, really.
Finding that quick pickup for himself, and now Furia. Well, as we take a look
at this. This is a big, ballsy monster push. You don't see this happen too often.
No, you do not. It's going to give the Ghost guys a lot of intel. The problem is it's also going to wean 2 players away from the fight itself, meaning that really only Steel and Wardell are going to be able to continue the fight.
They're gaining so much from the speed push, man. Because no one's even really actively pushing A right now to cause like a big threat. It gives so much more time for this fight to set in. At least they're weary of it. You see Strata waiting for it, actually, and even gets one of them.
Remaining 4 here for Ghost. They're going to try to position themselves to do maximum impact. Poyo most recently getting the pickup with the top tunnels, but now because of the split, again, Sub-Rose will be left alone inside of the B site, and he will go down relatively quickly. Wardell, though, sends Vinny flying as he tries to go across over to the site. And that will leave just 2 standing for Furia to win out the round with.
Yeah, other than getting a bomb plant, this round couldn't have gone worse for Furia unless somehow Spaka pulls this off, but you don't expect it given that he's just being pinched into the site. But he does fend off Poyo. That gives time for Steel and Company to push their way in and get this defuse. Again, that push through Monster, Wardell's initial pick at A, those combined just made that so hard for Furia to do much. I'm surprised they even got a bomb plant.
Yeah, so Ghost will be picking up the opening round. Furia, of course, still getting that plant, meaning that they're probably going to light by here. It should be an easy walkover round, more than likely for Ghost. They will have to get ready for the next buy round a little bit early. So I'm sure Furia will try to get a second plant here. If not, it'll be kind of the minimum buy with AK and a little bit of utility. But if they can get this plant here, then obviously it's going to boost it up quite a bit to basically what would be a full buy on the 4th round normally.
Surprised how SMG heavy Ghost is being, considering that they know that there's a 3rd round AK buy around the corner likely happening. But if they farm enough cash, it may not matter.
If they deny the plant too, then they can still use utility to really counter out Fury, even if they do get AKs. So
yeah, that's very true.
Right now, it's amazing. It's amazingly, one-sided here so far in the second round, as you kind of expect, given the guns. No kills found and 0 damage done too to anyone on Ghost. Pretty much a flawless round for them to set them up 2-0.
So here do come the AKs from the Brazilians. Head armor for everyone as well, but like we noted, limited utility in situations like this unless you get that second bomb plant or some frags in that second round. They didn't. Wardell gets an op right away with those SMG frags. But everyone else will be on stage. Is he going for the spam? Yep. Ooh.
Close, he tried it.
Yeah, it was not too shabby. It's also like there's no risk associated with that. It might slow down your timing.
That was my fault.
Just stomps on the box.
I moved my legs slightly. Okay?
Hate to see it.
It's an accident.
We
It's all
back
good.
though.
We didn't miss anything.
Quick
That's
turnaround.
the good news.
Quick
Kusta getting himself the opening kill onto the round there is going to be able to knock out Vinny. Wardell next to Strike, and he's going to be able to find multiple pickups here. A 3rd for him now as well. Massive impact coming out from Wardell. And it just leaves KS Serrano in the fight all alone here now, 1v4.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Wardell putting on a clinic with the AWP. They're just all facing him one by one as well. He didn't really even have a hard time bouncing between targets on that one. His firing speed has been so good. And the thing is with people with high firing speed is sometimes they can look really fast and cool, but actually landing the shots is hard. You know, someone like Haney was actually really popular for that problem, and Draken perhaps as well to a degree, whereas guys like Woxic and Cirque really thrive and actually are accurate with that fast firing speed. It looks really impressive. So Wardell being able to pull that off throughout this tournament is definitely something that can be a lot of fun to watch. It's very flashy looking. Left Caserato alone in an impossible situation, really. He's been quite good, but this is asking a lot of him now.
Especially given the timing on this one, too. More than likely, I'm actually surprised he's even going in for anything at this point. He might as well just back away and go towards spawn. He's only got 10 seconds left. I think it's more about self-preservation than necessarily trying to hunt for anything. Seeing if he could try to see if anyone was out there first off. They are actually going to move into his corner, though, so this is still a little bit dangerous for him. Gets the first kill. The push from the other side finds one more, but then does eventually go down after the timer. Where's that going to leave him money-wise now? Ooh, in a really bad spot, too. $700, so it has really messed up Furia's buying because of this. Because even if he full saves here, the next round's going to leave him with, I think, like about 3K, so he's not going to have enough to buy.
Yeah, Ghost is off to a great start here. I think they're probably going to feel really good about this, considering they lost both pistols in the last map. Now they're the ones getting the 3-0 start in the game on their map pick as well. And, should be getting the 4th with basically no resistance for Fury to really be able to pose. And again, they've already won the first map. And again, this would be big for this team to qualify. They already qualified for Master Stockholm. So qualifying for this Hong Kong final on top of that would be fantastic for a team that's literally just come together over the last maybe month or two. Obviously, the core's been together for a little while, but Sub Rosa and Wardell, the new additions.
Well, we do see Furia trying to make themselves a quick push over through the connector and then get themselves up to a short A engagement as well. Players that are in bathroom connector should be able to hear all this, and in Sub Rosa's case, he's going to see it. Himself one quick kill, chains himself into a second. The site is left partially open, however, so this will enable at least a plant for Furia, which is good considering I'm pretty sure that was the main objective of the round. They walk right on and get it. But besides that, it's an absolute shutdown from Ghost. Hey there. So
that was close. So one more left click needed, and he would have actually gotten knifed.
Yeah.
Dude, there's something about Steelen just not getting knifed or not getting killed by people who push him up close. Like, we saw that on Nuke twice.
He's like a force field around him.
Yeah, he really does. I feel like there's, again, he's found a secret buy menu, kind of like the secret menu at, you know, like In-N-Out or something like that. But instead of animal style, he gets like force fields.
Ghost do take the round. A 4-0 lead is now theirs. The second buy round coming in for Furia. The first one where the team is actually going to have decent utility as well, so they can actually try to go for some type of set strat in comparison to the more than likely just contact plays that they were kind of forced to make on the opening gun round. This time they can take their time about it, play a little bit more slowly if they want to. Wardell is going to be thrust into the action, though. If he finds anything over here, but it's not even him that's the most frontline player right now. It's actually Sabrosa that's way over there towards the playground. Has a great position. He's going to immediately find Art after he leaps out from the playground.
It's like the most vulnerable position on the planet, but still somehow gets a kill and is able to get away. And he's actually going to find another. What in the world is this?
And now the up comes in.
Oh my god, this is...
They're just playing with Furia in this round. They've made fools of them. KS Dorado and Vinny are the last two left standing here. They're going to try to force their way back out. Finally, a good flash is going to take care of Sabrosa. He's still got Wardell to deal with, though, and he knows... Ooh, he's actually in a bad spot, though. He's got to be careful getting arrested. Whoa, that swing! Nicely found. It's his second kill on the round, and he gets the last one, too. Why not?
You'd be hard-pressed to find a bigger example of this tournament of absolute dominance. Like, Sabrosa pushes into one of the positions that you are just open to everything, somehow finds 2 kills, and then Wardell at the op. Dude, he's 13-0. Can we just put that one out there real fast?
Oh my god, I just realized that. That's in 5 rounds? What's that like?
That's a lot.
Like 2.6,
2 point something.
I think?
Nah, I don't know if it's
Yeah,
quite that much.
2.6 KPR.
Okay.
That's what that should be, if my math is correct. That's impressive right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, early days. We'll have to see how long that holds. But this is going to be a much quicker execute this time from Furia. Steel having to hold, gets himself a second kill before going down to KS Dorado. That kill, though, serves to even us up back into a 3v3. Won't stay that way for long, though. Kusta finds himself another one and another one before Sabrosa will wrap back in, shut things down from heaven, and give Ghost yet another round. Now up to 6 against Furia.
Still hasn't died. 6 rounds deep. Still no deaths for good old Wardell. That round, Furia obviously just trying to change the pace, trying to get some confidence, trying to feel some swagger about themselves after getting crushed over at Fountain the previous round. But while they do get some decent trades and get some headway to the bomb site, still not enough to get really anything going. And now they're back into a force buy situation, really. I feel like they're trying to scrap together whatever they can to get buys. And Wardell actually gets just a tag on Art that time. And look at Sabrosa. He's going to push a different side this time. It's going to be long. He gets 2. Kusta comes in for 1 as well. And again,
dirty.
they're just getting shut down.
Absolutely dirty. They're giving Furia no room to work with, even with utility and somewhat bought-up pistols. They just don't even seem to pose a threat to these guys. It's all KS Dorado.
Imagine telling the story to your friends where it's like, yeah, bro, I played an overpass match and I never left playground on T-side.
Pretty much, right? Especially on eco rounds. It's a good flash at least to get KS Dorado out, but he doesn't get to a position where he can actually find the frag in time, so he still goes down. Goes secure a 7th round. Once again, with everyone staying alive. Now, these rounds are being balanced out quite nicely because every time they have a somewhat close gun round, the next round they just completely stomp Fury and all 5 players stay alive. So their money is going completely out of control. Wardell's already at max money. Sabrosa's over 10K. The other 3 are relatively close to 10K, with the only real exception being Steel.
It's like the dream game for Ghost right now. Yeah. Meanwhile, Art's over there doing his best Daniel Craig impression, 0-7, and no one's really playing well on that team. Again, Wardell getting crazy close to landing one of those spam shots.
It's a tad early that time. Bit of a boost up here to try and spot the alt tunnel, but that's not what they have to worry about. It's going to be presence coming from the actual connector that would be the biggest worry for them. However, it looks like Art and Vinny have been pushed back. They don't really want to try and challenge anything here.
Yeah, they're just trying. They've been so hard pressed just to get like basic map control, which normally never happens for Terrace in the map. Normally you're able to at least get like control of party, start getting in the toilets, maybe get connector. They really haven't done that yet. They've actually slipped through this time, but Ghost might just be flanking behind this smoke and absolutely crushing them again. They even have a pinch ability with their 2 players on short beats. They can just crush this short pipe control. There it is.
There we go. Vinny picking up 1 trade, but that'll be it. Besides that, a 2-for-1 exchange. Now leaving Furia split up across the map to the bomb, also still down, I think, at the top of the top tunnels. So someone's going to have to go back and get that eventually here, too. And they're still looking for control just to get into short. They don't even have short control yet.
Bomb's still way back here as well, by the way. I don't think CTs are aware of it, obviously, but having to come back and grab that. They do at least have B bomb site because the CTs have actually stayed in short and connector.
Kusta just saw them fall back, though, so he should know now that they're going to be going down to
it's
the
also
site.
so fast to rotate on this map, obviously.
Okay, Serrano, though, holds the line initially back by CT. main. And actually, it seems like Ghosts are a little bit confused here, to be honest, about where exactly this is headed. But Kusta gets the wrap off, drops the bomb more importantly, and it's not necessarily in an easily retrievable spot for Spaka, who's the only other guy who can pick it up. Worse, too. KS Serato can't even leave the site. Look at the timing. All they have to do is waste time at this point, and they've got the round. It's Ghost once again pulling off an impressive feat here. Getting a little bit confused. Fury trying to pull a tricky strat. It does not work at all. That little jump from Kusta as well to reposition himself. Nicely played. It gives Ghost another round now. 7-0. 8-0, excuse me, against Furia. And we will go into another tack pause for Furia.
Wardell still hasn't died. Just want to put that one out there.
That's great. He also hasn't got a kill in 3 rounds, to be fair. But
we just need like an alert system that's like just reminding us that he hasn't died. Anyway, I feel like the way Ghost is playing is just like the epitome of suffocation. You know, it's like you're not even letting Furia set into a default and feel like they have any sense of map control anywhere. I feel like Furia tried to kind of get away from that by going for like faster push plays and avoiding just playing default and spreading out and getting picked apart by Wardell's op or whatever aggressive maneuvers that Ghost want to throw out there. They just figure, hey, we can just bunch up and try to push something together and at least ensure that we should have a numbers advantage as we push into trade. But also the side anchors for Ghost have stepped up to the plate and delivered. So that hasn't even really worked. And I think he actually did tag Eerie this time. That's one of his teammates did.
He might. It's 87. I think that's the equivalent of a left click on knife. So he might have been a teammate knifing him accidentally. I think that's what you go down to if you get left click by a teammate. So Wardell as well jumps down just in time too because he had a big rush of Fury players coming this way. It's still gonna change it from Fury though because
they got past Party, man.
Yeah, you know, prior to this, obviously they would play slow at Party, and the problem is Ghost would realize that, get aggressive themselves, just lock them in, not let them get any control, and try to shut down the round as quickly as possible. This time it's Fury that take charge.
It feels like we're watching a normal round of Counter-Strike finally here on Overpass between these two teams. So we'll see how it pans out. Sorod's pushing deeply in. John, you're fired.
All right, so we're going to just continue the cast because I think we are live to the stream, by the way. But Steel's going to be able to wrap things up in this round, picking up the next 2 kills. And so Ghost will secure another round for themselves. They're up to 9-0 now. With that secured, lead growing ever more here against the guys from Furia.
Yeah, John's fired for sure.
I didn't even touch it that time.
It's all good.
That wasn't even my fault that time.
About to lay down some fire analysis about the bait setup. Sub-Bros are pushing up to the flower box.
The first time
I was really good about my analysis there as well. And no one heard it, but it's all good. Ghost Gaming just continues to dominate Furia. That hasn't changed. It's not like you've missed much. Double op setup. Kusta gets burned to the ground on that one. Furia has an early man advantage. I feel like we haven't really been able to say that this game. So, progress. Let's see if they can roll it out into something special.
That might be quite literally the first time they've had a gun around. However, it could be very quickly going back away. They do spam into Sabrosa, though, so he's only going to be able to go 1-for-1. Wardell, always the game changer. We'll see if he can do it once again. He'll flash out to the half wall. Does not blind the player that's closer to him, so instead, he'll pop the smoke off, gives him room to maneuver. Oh, that would have been crazy right there. We don't see it, but he's still got the capability to hold, and a quick snapshot knocks out Spaka, and it's going to let him fall back now that they've evened out the men power.
At least Art's been able to slip in through middle while Wardell's been so hyper-focused on Log, and so he's able to get that trade as Wardell falls back, and again, gets the man advantage back for his team. And also, Wardell finally died. That happened, so it took 9 rounds to get there, but he's finally had the spotless record. But look at Pollo coming in. He's not having any trouble dealing with these players this round. It's all on Yuri now.
1v2, however, so still winnable for Yuri. He's going to wrap in, but took too long, so Steel cuts in from short. Finishes off the round, and now goes to double digits before Furia have even scored 1 single round.
We've gone from the closest game we've seen all tournament in the last map to by far the most one-sided. Not even just because of the score on the board, but because of the fashion in which it's happened. You know, you got a guy that's only died 1 time in 10 rounds, and everyone performing well here for Ghost. You still really haven't seen anyone come alive yet for Furia. A couple little plays here and there. That was a round that felt like they actually might be able to win. They had a 3-on-2, actually, and they killed Wardell, so it seemed like they had something going, but Now they're up against a double op setup, and Kus has already found first blood.
And again, they've just forced into it basically here, as we're going to see Yuri already brought down to 44 HP, along with KS just getting outright eliminated at these first couple seconds of the round. They'll push back in. Wardell striking once again. Kusta with an 8 kill, and it's once more an example of Furia just being given absolutely zero room to work with on this map. They get in because they're allowed to get in, but now look, Sabrosa, no, okay, I was about to say, Sabrosa was going to walk in, try to go for a knife kill, but Pollo apparently doesn't want to let him get that.
I've like never seen a more dominant CT side of Overpass that I've personally casted. Like, this is kind of insane. We got two guys at 16K.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Like, what?
Two guys are at max money. One guy's
Can
almost
our
at max
observer
money.
look through these rounds just like quickly and just see how many CT survived each time? Oh, it doesn't show
it's
up.
broken.
I hate to see that.
That's bad.
Oof. Oof. It's always risky whenever you try to call for things. He tried, though. Best effort to Efren.
Thanks,
Definitely
thanks, Efren.
gave it a try. We appreciate it. There's only been 2 bomb plants the entire half. We can point that out.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is a Fury doesn't even get full buys all the time. That's the worst part. Even with max losing bonus, if you don't get plants, you still have to go buy, save. You can obviously try to levy it a little bit and get like half buys in between, but it's not going to be that great.
I feel like the only round that was even close was the one round where Ghost lost 3 players. It was a 3-on-2. I think every other round they survived with at least 3 or 4 players every other time. So here we have Furia. Just upgraded pistols again. Sub-Rosa pushing down towards Fountain as he's done so many times, almost always being successful.
It's going to be a flash around the corner. Sub-Rosa once again ready in aggressive position. He's already got 2, now 3, and there you go. The entire push has been put down once again. Art left alone, 1v5, only a deagle and a single flashbang. They're going to push him in a moment. Art, hey, at least there's something there, as he gets a kill for himself, and a nice second one too, finding Wardell. He's got an op to play with now, but of course took plenty of damage in that fight, so he's down at 18 HP. Ghost are trying to crunch him as quickly as they can. They'll just wait for him to make the next move, though, as there's still a minute left on the clock. That's the craziest part, as this shutdown happens, and it happens so quickly.
This is tough to watch, man, because Furia was just a great story for this tournament. You know, coming in, have never played an international event before, but doing really well within Brazil, beating up on pretty much everyone within their country. Then they come here, they open up against Complexity, they really get hit hard on Inferno in the first match of the series, but then wind up upsetting Complexity and winning that best of 3. Then actually going into the next series against E United, they win that one as well. Then they come into this, they look pretty damn good on cash. It was a very close game. And then this happens. Like, this is just that, you're lacking that climatic ending that you want, kind of, right? Like,
yeah.
this is rough. But for Ghost, it's fantastic. Like, they played so well this tournament. They definitely are deserving of taking that slot if they wind up finishing this off, which looks so likely at this point.
Kusta striking already with a double kill. We're again only about 20 seconds into the round here. Art, Vinny, and Yuri are all that Furia have left. And they're going to go for a slow lurk. Each of them pretty separate from each other, too. So if one goes down, you can... there probably won't be a trade. The out presence is there. Kusta spots the play from Art, but Kusta, sadly, is going to end up peeking directly into Art once more. Takes the risk, which, granted, you can't even fault him for wanting to play that aggressively given the scoreline. He'll lose himself, however. Here we go again with Sabrosa. Constantly a nuisance for this Furia roster to have to deal with. Cuts off the only A presence that the T's had.
I'm actually curious about something. Maybe HLTV guy can help me out here. Has there ever been a 16-0 on a LAN Grand Final?
Oh, you just said it, so it's not going to happen. No.
Yeah, I don't know if this ever happened. In a Grand Final, at least, offline.
You should have just left that as something unsaid.
I don't know, just curious.
Now you jinxed it.
I'm curious if it's out there. Oh, boy.
Well, we knew that one was going to fail.
And it just feels like Furia's like deflated at this point, man. I really want to see them strike back. I really want a nice game here because, again, they've played so well throughout this tournament to get to this point. But it's just not happening for them right now. It's a testament to just how well Ghost are playing, how on point they are.
He almost had a collateral line up there, so a little bit scary for a little second or two, but Pollo still gets a quick closeout. Ghost Gaming again with another round going into their pocket, 13-0. Furia, of course, going to come back in with another buy, but it's mixed because they're on the buy save procedure. Sadly, can't continue to just force into it with full rifles every single round.
This is why you got to just hope that someone like Art or Kesserado, one of the big riflers, just makes a huge play. That's all you can really hope for at this point. like a big individual effort, because every team play thing they've tried has not worked. They have a lot of utility behind this B execute, and they should be able to get in. It's just Kusa's actually shut them down at this long pipe so many times, but they're actually going to reroute to short.
Nade goes in though. Wardell finding the first pick for these guys. A second pickup now from Kusa. They've got the pincered, the bombs down again. Furia just cannot find any flat ground to start off any of these rounds, even when it seems like they've got a kill guaranteed. It's not even that easy to get trades, let alone get access to any of these sites. Goes with their quick cleanup. And we are in the last round of the half with Ghost at 14-0.
I've just never seen anything like this in the grand final, especially after the first map. I expected this to be more competitive, but again, Furia, anytime they set up for something, they just get shut down. Like, Ghost has been very proactive. They always take the initiative. They're always constantly peeking angles.
This has to hit, come on.
No.
You almost got Art jumping.
All right, here we go, Art. Oh, they just need to get like a sick hop or something.
Nades once again going to be moving, and KS are already taking loads of damage. They do actually get through Monster
I
this
believe.
time. There we go. Yuri and Vinny picking up 2, now 3 kills. Sabrosa and Wardell, the only ones left standing here for the CT side, and now it's just Sabrosa out of nowhere. A quite literal rush B attempt from Furia might be what wins them their only round so far. Sabrosa's alone, a 1v4 set against him.
Yeah, no HP either, so there's not much hope for him to crack this egg open, but he's certainly going to give it a shot. Not going to find a second kill, and so at least one round comes out from Fury before it's all said and done, but it's not that much better than a 15-0.
So, Dust, if there's never been a 16-0 in a land grand final, how do you feel to be the guy that jinxed it and denied it?
I didn't jinx it. You like how I jinxed the overtime in the first map? That was on purpose. We learners out here.
Well, this is still obviously a very detrimental scoreline to Furia. Obviously, if Ghosts take the pistol, it is pretty much over at this point. As Furia, sadly, with only one round, have to be pretty much perfect. Otherwise, this game is over, and so is this tournament, and we'll be giving Ghosts the ticket to Hong Kong.
Yeah, of course, though, we do need to give a couple of shout-outs, maybe for one final time here at halftime, for some of the partners that helped make this event happen. And so we'll start out by talking a little bit about something that Zotac's got out there, John.
Absolutely, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Zotac Cup Masters is proudly presented by Zotac themselves and the Zotac Gaming Mini PC. Game on the most compact gaming PC with Magnus, the #1 gaming mini PC with GeForce GTX. Game ready and VR ready, Magnus delivers desktop gaming performance with whisper quiet noise, cool and comfortable temperatures. There's nothing like it, so be sure to pick one up.
And while you have one of those, you got to hook it up to something so that you can see, and you can check out one of our nice ViewSonic monitors, light it up with the new XG2402 gaming monitor from ViewSonic. It's 144 hertz refresh rate, highly customizable OSD settings, and a red backlight give you the edge in any competitive environment. So shout out to some of the partners that helped make this happen.
And so once again, with our sponsors out of the way, it is now time to go into the second half for maybe one last time here. Furia are up against the wall. They have 0 mistakes that they can make throughout the course of this series, needing to run 14 rounds straight here, or 13 rounds straight, just to tie it up at 14-14. And then an additional, so they need 15 total straight if they want to win it. They literally cannot lose a single round if they want to win it in regulation.
Yeah, this is the craziest odds I've ever had to cast about in a grand final like this. Again, though, even if this winds up going the way of Ghost, Furia has a lot to be proud of, being able to come here and beat Complexity and United in best of threes, and they're about to move to Miami. They're about to get a chance to play against NA teams regularly and get more exposed to international Counter-Strike, and we've seen some of their players have some great talent, so no matter what happens this half and what happens this series, they've already come here and proven a lot, in my opinion.
It's unfortunate that this map specifically is probably going to add a bit of a black mark to Furia's performance, but as you said, this is still like a really impressive tournament from Furia overall, especially considering with the ways things started out for them, and very much in the nature like this match, upsettingly. But we're still able to bring it back in that game, take the series, and then go on to make it all the way to the grand finals here. It just seems like things did not go their way.
Yeah, and then for the other side, Ghost, it's like another big tournament to qualify for. Like, you know, Stockholm was obviously what they just did. Then even the cordless team on Torque were able to qualify for like Belo Horizonte, DreamHack Tour.
And that was like back-to-back as well, if I remember correctly. The Tours and Belo Horizonte qualification happened pretty much directly after each other. So this one,
ever since this core came together, they've done some cool stuff in the NA scene. There's no doubt about that. So it's another thing to add to their belt.
But we'll see from Ghost now. So they've already got 1 kill gone in their direction, and it does look like they are going to lean into an execute here over the next few moments into the B-bomb site. Furia specifically do have their players stacked up here with Chaos Serrano also boosted up. Remember though, this is going to give away the position of 2 players as soon as they see that boost, but Vinny goes unnoticed at Toxic, so he's allowed to escape with 1 kill. Sadly, it gets traded pretty much immediately. Spocka's though, that one's free and so far unresponded to by anyone on Ghost. Brings us back down into a 3 versus 3, but now with the plant under the ground along with plenty of smokes covering off the site, Ghost can go back, start to play very passively. Furia have their own smoke though, so they gotta be careful. Wardell cuts off Chaos Serrano, saves his own teammate's life. And now he's gonna be able to move in for another pickup here on Pistol. One more to maybe be seen between him and Steel, and it's Ghost already up at map, series, and tournament point.
Indeed, they're looking to be that next team to book their tickets to Hong Kong in August to play for that $300,000 prize pool against some of the best teams from Asia, as well as a team like Team Liquid sitting out there, one of the best teams in the world going to be at that event. We still have one more team to announce. It's probably going to be another big top team to keep an eye on, and a couple of smaller European teams also finding their opportunities in the qualifiers. So let's see, is Ghost going to go ahead and punch those tickets? They certainly have the loadout to do it. Furia just getting together what last hopes they have in these pistols to see if they can't stay alive a little bit longer. Default setup here from Ghost. Again, Kusta more of a kind of lurk rifler on his team a lot of the time. Will be outside B. The rest just trying to kind of sit back and actually just wait for aggression from Furia before they start trying to work control of toilets and all that good stuff. So very standard approach from Ghost to open the round.
This is where I get a little bit worried, though, and some teams do this, that they just go into this like hyper-passive mentality when they get up to 15 or 14 rounds. This is exactly what Ghost have done. This time, there's very much needed justification for this when you consider that, again, it's going to be Furia on an eco. They're also at 15 to 1, so you know that they're probably going to be trying some desperate stuff.
Yeah, sure. And because you've had players outside and playground and inside country, you know no one's going to be flanking you when you go to this B hit. Like, at worst, they're stacking the site with rotations through Graffiti and Heaven.
But the problem here is that they've thrown 0 pressure at any of the sites. The smoke from Vinny was ready to go inside of Monster, but he just ends up ditching it to his side to give him a little bit more room to play off of. T's will have to push past the smoke to get back in. Oh no, they found 2 more kills, Vinny and Yuri, to pick them both up here. Steel as well, trying to reverse it, but no, it's too far gone at this point. It's down to a 2v4. Chaos Serrano makes the flank, and Yuri gets the last kill. So Furia, they're not done fighting just yet. They picked up a first round. The problem is, though, now they need 13 more, and they can't lose a single one.
Yeah, that's definitely, again, the tall task that's ahead of them, but a good play there, even though they got caught out by the monster push. They weren't expecting because no utility came in from Ghost. They just kind of dry hit the site, and so it caught the first play off guard. But when Ghost puts their smoke wall down and they're looking to press in, Furia don't waste any time kind of pushing through those smokes and making plays and find the frags they need to stay afloat. But look at Ghost. They will go ahead and buy out their own upgraded pistols here. They're not going to tap out and save. They're looking to see if they still can end it here soon. You see Sub-Rosa just pushing short. He's not letting up, and he gets his kill.
Problem is, though, is this is going to leave Vinny into the open. He has massive damage to both Kusta and Pollo, but no actual kill. It's unfortunate, as now we're down to a 4v3. Obviously, Pollo and Kusta are going to be very careful the way they fight for the rest of this round. Yuri has to be... Oh, no!
Not
you
like
hate
this.
to see that, as he's going to end up nading himself out of the round.
Oh,
Art
no.
and Chaos Serrano are all that's left. Art finds a nice kill, though, and more importantly, denies the plant now. Minute and 13 remaining, so Ghost should still be able to work against that. A flashbang will give room to this player to circumnavigate over and try to pick up the bombs so that they can get this plant. They're still having trouble with it. Another flash needs to go to Heaven to allow him to cross, put the plant onto the ground.
I just hope that Furia wins this round for the sake. I don't want that to be the end of Uria's tournament, for that to be the way it ends. But they have a player really low on health on Kusta in this 2 versus 2, so definitely have a good shot at this.
Kusta finally going to get caught by Art, so it's come down to Wardell. It's been clutched before, though, but he spams out a little bit early this time, giving away his position. He'll get knocked out by Chaos Serrano. So Furia do recover and get their 3rd onto the board.
Yeah, they're starting to get some stuff going, and they actually pick up a couple of rifles as well. And even though Ghost did get a bomb plant there, you'd expect them to eventually take a save here just to get their money in order to go ahead and start looking to put this one away. And that gives Furia a little bit more room, inch by inch. They're starting to climb back at least a little bit. Again, I expect Ghost not to really buy too much here. So a 4th round for Furia should be fairly likely. As I say that, Pollo buys a Galil and head armor, so maybe not. Guess they are just going to keep forcing. Yep, another Galil and head armor comes out from Kusta as well. They're just going for it.
It's probably after this round they'll stop doing it, though. This one they get like an okay buy. Biggest thing they're missing is like utility, obviously, which is why Steel and Sub Rose have to go down to the CZs. However, like I said, if this round goes poorly, granted, they still have an 11-round lead.
Yeah.
But they'll probably like take a step back. It's like, okay, we got to play this game normally after all. Let's just take a second, go for 1 or 2 ecos, and then full save and try to shut it down there.
So here we go. Have a decent nade sets behind a couple of their players as well for whatever this attack's going to be. Steel and Sub Rosa, normally more of entry guys for this team, are actually on CZ and nade sets here. So kind of juggling around maybe different positions for people. So they are going to be gathering up all their forces, and Yuri with the AWP gets that kill on the Wardell. A little bit of redemption after that self-nade last round.
Yuri will have to be careful here, though. He's got a wrap coming in from Art. Art doesn't seem to know where exactly to aim here, and KS Serrano coming back in. They're taking pages right out of the Ghost Book. Great flanks coming back in, and this is looking like the same struggles that Furia had to a certain extent. Poyo, now left alone, is going to try to maximize the damage in this round, but ultimately won't be able to survive for too much longer. Does get a second kill put up, and oh, there's Vinny getting dirty. Right around the corner, a knife to his face. Knocks him out and puts a 4th one on the board for the Brazilians.
That's got to help you a little bit. Help get your mentality back. You get a kill like that, and now you finally force Ghost to take a save, or at least you'd imagine so, given their money. I doubt they just keep going for the forces like we've been seeing, and yeah, here we go. CZ, P250 for Steel. A little bit of utility, but definitely a focus on that very next round they'll be able to buy again. Art looking for something aggressive with the AWP, but gets blinded and pushed in. That's an AWP that could go to Wardell, but Yuri there to stop at least that from happening.
Cool, KS Serrano denies Kuzma's though. Now Sabrosa running back down. We're into a 3v2. 2 weapons are recovered. Pollo's got it up, sitting behind his armor purchase.
Oh no, there's actually 2 rifles on Steel and Sub Rosa as well, so this is actually looking very scary.
Bialik showing up just when it's needed, though, is going to be able to now take out 2 more targets. Leave Steel alone, but if it was going to be anyone, it would have to be Steel. As now we're down to a 1v1, 1 minute and 15 seconds left.
He's got so much time as well, and we've seen him pull up a couple of nasty 1v1 clutches on Nuke earlier today against the Sharks. Another Brazilian team that was at this event. So we'll see what is Steel going to do here, running all the way around with this bomb through Monster towards that B bomb site. Spaka just banking on A being the main option. Doesn't really have much of a choice but to pick a site and stick to it and hope for the best. He's just guessed wrong, and so Steel gets this bomb plant. He'll be able to back away. Not really knowing where Spaka's coming from just yet. Ooh.
He's going for the lurk. The problem is, though, is by the time he gets up there, Spock will more likely jump in.
He's heard that sound cue now, though.
Yeah, Steel will know where to go. Ooh, maybe not. Still going up top. Spock is going to wrap back around. Oh, but there's the shot, and that's the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. Steel knocking out Spaka, circumnavigates him back up to heaven, and takes control of our final map with 16-4. So with that, Ghost will take the tournament with a 2-0 final score here in the Grand Finals, and they will also punch their ticket to the Hong Kong Grand Finals in about 2 months.
Yeah, congratulations to Ghost. Yet another big victory for this new team.